we go.
The following is a presentation of the Michigan Sports Network.
Live from the Collaborative Lab in Comstock Park, Michigan, it's the 4th anniversary celebration of the Huge Show on the Michigan Sports Network. Today's statewide broadcast is being brought to you by the Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort, Eagle Sportsbook and Casino app, Budweiser and Fabiano's Distributing, Meijer and the 2023 Meijer LPGA Classic for Simply Give, Mercantile Bank, the Michigan Association of Chiefs of Police, Bean Carter, the Michigan High School Athletic Association, Tully Moore Golf Resort, Roast Umber Coffee, Van Andel Arena, DeVos Performance Hall, and DeVos Place in Grand Rapids, the Grand Rapids Gold, Van Andel Institute, Brand Steakhouse and Grills, the Grand Rapids Griffins, Mr. Car Wash, the LPGA's Dow Great Lakes Bay Invitational, Showspan, and this weekend's Ultimate Sports Show in downtown Grand Rapids, Berlin Raceway, and special thanks to Marty Boer and the Michigan Sports Network, all of our statewide radio affiliates, Huge Show executive producer Brett Hayes, and you, the loyal listeners. Now, let's go live to Soundstage 1 inside the Collaborative Lab in Comstock Park with the huge one, Bill Simonson.
All right, thank you, Eric Zane. We are here inside the Collab Lab. It is a celebration. Year number 4 on the Michigan Sports Network, and we have clients coming in, listeners all across the state, and man, do we have a huge show for you. It's unbelievable, the conversations I've had. Tom Izzo, John Beilein, these are on video and audio for those of you listening all across Michigan on our great affiliates. For the one close to you where you can listen live, go to thehugeshow.net. Right now on YouTube, I'm making my debut. I'm getting early word, 17 million viewers in the first 20 seconds. So according to Jeff Morton, who handles analytics for the Michigan Sports Network, I just made $1.7 million in the first 20 seconds. Thank you, Collaborative Lab. It's amazing when you work with this operation. And you know what? I normally don't look like this. They have new imagery, which is part of new equipment, cameras. You have no idea how good I look right now. It's amazing. Go to the YouTube channel, search Michigan Sports Network, and you can watch our entire broadcast because I feel like I'm on a Hollywood stage set. Tim Wheeler is here from the Michigan Association of Chiefs of Police. I saw the Chief Ed. He walked in from North Muskegon, the Chief of Police. He gave Marty Boer, Jeff Morton, and me a lifetime of going 15 over the speed limit in North Muskegon. Thank you. Thank you, Chief Ed. A huge Lions fan. I met Chief Ed at the annual convention in downtown Grand Rapids for the Chiefs of Police, and God bless all our law enforcement and what those men and women do every day. You know where this show stands, whether we're on video or on the radio. So I'm walking with Tim Wheeler, and he says, I want to introduce you to some of the Chiefs. And there's Chief Ed, and he has a really, leadership quality to him. And all of a sudden, he kind of wasn't warming up to me initially, which is a surprise. I mean, I don't know where that comes from. And finally, Tim introduces me, and he goes, Bill's a big Lions fan. And he had told me Chief Ed was. And all this Chief Ed looks at me, and he says, what do you think of Matt Stafford? And I went, a client relationship is on the line. What I say could change the course of mankind. And I go, I thought he underachieved in Detroit. And Chief Ed gave me one of the greatest hugs I've ever had from a male or female in my life. It was amazing. And we hit it off. And then I bring him on air on the annual True and Blue segment Wednesdays on The Huge Show. And Chief Ed became Mr. Politician during the interview, going, oh, the Lions are going to do really good. They're going to be 11-6. And I'm thinking, where's Chief Ed? Well, you know what? I made sure Tim brought him back. And he'll join me on stage, and we'll pay tribute to the men and women who serve and protect all across Michigan. And he'll deliver his huge opinion on the Lions' upcoming season. Speaking of the Lions, momentarily, I'm getting word that Herman Moore, okay, we're going to have a best dress contest between Herman and me, the living legend, former Lions great, one of the best to ever catch the football in the state of Michigan and the NFL. And also, he's proud to be a partner with the Eagle Casino and Sports app. Our friends from Soaring Eagle sponsor Tuesdays, and we'll hear from the team. I think Tim and Tanya are on their way down here, Raul and the crew. So Herman Moore will join us momentarily, and we'll talk about the Lions. You got free agency coming up in a week, so that's pretty cool. Herman Moore. There's Herman. Oh, he's a legend. I had that same shirt I was going to put on, but we'll talk to Herman in a moment. We have John Beilein later this hour, Tom Izzo. Drew Neitzel will join us on stage. The Drew Neitzel. And he didn't even charge me to come on the show today. That's what the 4th anniversary on the Michigan Sports Network means. So Herman, is he set to join us momentarily? Hannah, our director, we got a great crew. Straw poll with the crew before we went on. 3 out of the 11 crew members like me. That is fantastic. Thank you to the Collaborative Lab. And we'll hear from Andy from the Collaborative Lab in regards to what they do. But I want to welcome in one of the greats in Lions history, Herman Moore, to our 4th anniversary huge show. How you doing, my man?
Hey, you know what? I'm wonderful. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, your thoughts on the Lions and what this season was like, and we'll get to your partnership with the Eagle Casino and Sportsbook app in a moment. But the Lions, what they did to close out the season 8-2. What did you think of that, and where do you think this team is going?
Well, right now, I think the team is building on something pretty special. If you look at really where this team started, and you have to go back beyond just this past season, even though they wrapped up at 8-2, and look at the progress they were making coming out of the 2022 season that led them down the path of, having that such a successful campaign. The first year that Dan Campbell was there, a lot of people were kind of concerned. Then you go through year 2, and then all of a sudden this team is now starting to make some strides. And I see the biggest thing that if I had to point to one thing, is just the way they developed a lot of their talent. I give a lot of kudos to the coaching staff, to the way in which they didn't have to overpay for players. And it feels like the players that they did get, they got the most out of them. They moved them all up another level. So I'm very excited for what we saw, the development of the defense, a little bit more aggressive play along the defensive line. The secondary became very good at takeaways. And then as you go over to the offensive side, it just came together. It was a perfect storm. And Jared Goff played well, receivers, and then you got a stellar running back in Swift, and also you had in Jamal Williams. But the offensive line, I think, are really the trench guys. Did a tremendous job for them.
Herman Moore joining us here on the 4th anniversary of the huge show on the Michigan Sports Network from the Collaborative Lab in Comstock Park. And Herman has that relationship with the Eagle Sportsbook app we'll talk about here in a few moments. I think they're on the verge, Herman, of something great. And I know on air last week, without being under the influence of Bud Light, I said 2 Super Bowls, 2 Super Bowls in the next 5 years. Now, you had some of the best players ever, Barry and the crew and Perryman and Lomas around you. But I'm looking at Sheila Hamp. I'm looking at Holmes in that front office with Dorsey and guys like Spillman. And I look and I see Campbell and his staff. I look at the talent, both young and experienced in golf, and I really think they are set to join the upper echelon in the NFL. Would you say I'm spot on, crazy, or I'm close?
I'll say that you're spot on in that they are a team that should contend. As far as taking them all the way to the dance, 2 of those 5 years, that's a tough feat. It doesn't matter who you have. You can have the best team, and you can start out with the best players. Every game has to be played and won. But I will say this: I think you're going on the right path in that. First and foremost, can this team compete? Can this team be a team that's got to stay number 1 or number 2 at the very least in the NFC North? I favor them. Look at them to be favored to win the NFC North. If not, the very least is to finish second in a very competitive second coming into the 2023 season. And then when they get into the playoffs, I see this as being a team that can win 1 to 2 games. So if they can ever get home field advantage, I will back you on that and say they have an excellent opportunity of going to the Super Bowl. But it's just one of those things. They're always still a player here or there. Every team is away. Even as great as we were as a team, if Barry goes down or you get a key lineman that goes down, it could wreck an entire unit. And for this case, I look at Jared Goff as being really that catalyst and that person that has made a tremendous stride in last year's season. That is going to be a key contributor to what happens next. They're going to get Jameson Williams back, but that's only one part of the offense. Defensively, I think they're going to be solid, but they still going to have to play well. We saw they had some exposure in the secondary. So this team is there, but I would love to have the same Kool-Aid you're having, and I've had it for quite some time during my entire career, and I still drink it. And I still believe this is a team that is destined to have a Super Bowl at some point.
It's a new Bud Light Kool-Aid they haven't released yet with Fabiano Brothers in the Detroit area. It's kind of has a light blue flavor to it. When you drink it, they win every game. It's amazing. From our friends at Fabiano Brothers. I just like where they're at. And, Rodgers' story, if he leaves Green Bay and hopefully ends up with the Jets or out in Vegas, that will help their cause. But this is the first off season. Going back in the day, even with you and Barry, I would always say something about, do they have enough coaching to get this team to the Super Bowl? Is the front office strong enough? Was ownership too involved? This is the first off season, Herman, where on air on the huge show across Michigan on the Michigan Sports Network, with friends, at games, at Tin Roof, when I'm there with Bud Light before games, this is the first off season where I feel extremely comfortable about everything connected to the Lions. Now, does that make me crazy, or am I spot on?
On that one, I'm also going to have to give you spot on. This is probably one of the most complete times in which I've seen this team most complete, meaning the front office seems solid. The scouting has been solid. I think those that are in the administrative power positions, your GM and your president, they are solid. I look at your coaching staff and those that are leading the talent, they're solid. And then when you look at the players and you look at the team, they're solid. So you're spot on in that this is a team that is probably one of the more complete top to bottom, upstairs and downstairs and on the field that I've seen probably since our time back in the 90s when we went to 5-6 playoff opportunities there with one win. So this is a team that has an opportunity to do some very special things. Again, though, you have to keep players healthy, which I think the schedule permits for that. The training schedule permits for that. But also, how do you keep them motivated and keep them together as you start to build on that success? That's also some of those intangibles that get missed sometimes when you're building a legacy program. But from all indications of what we've seen, you're spot on. And I think those that you're having conversations with, they should feel very good about where this team sits right now.
Yeah, by the way, North Muskegon Police Chief Ed Viverette just drove up the squad car when this show is over at the Collab Lab. We're going up and down Woodward Avenue for 5 years until there's a celebration with the Lombardi Trophy with the Lions. Herman Moore, you see his face right now if you're watching on YouTube from our 4th anniversary on the Michigan Sports Network live broadcast. Also his voice across the huge radio network and our 14 stations connected to the Michigan Sports Network. Your partnership. I've had a long-time partnership with Soaring Eagle, some of the best people I've ever worked with. You now have partnered with the Eagle Sportsbook app. Tell me about that partnership in year one.
Well, Eagle Casino and Sports, they've been wonderful. I've worked with the Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort for some years. I've been there as a player who's come back and done a lot of their Super Bowl parties over the years, and just been a wonderful relationship through and through with all the members, all the team members, the entire franchise. And for me to be able to be an ambassador for their sportsbook app and also for the Eagle Casino and Sports part of their business, it's been fantastic. If anyone knows them, not only are they one of the largest that are out there in the country in that spot in the gaming industry, but they also provide such an enormous amount of entertainment, and their team is so personable when you're there. So it's like family to me, and being able to represent them means a lot because I think they align very well, not only with my brand, but with each other's mission and also in our community give back.
Amen. I feel like Raul and the crew are family. They give back not only to the tribe, but they give back to Michigan, and they're big supporters of sports all around the state and the partnership. You now have with the Eagle Casino and Sports app. People can download it, experience it. I hear your voice all the time on the Huge Show. I'm like, that's Herman Moore. I go, every once in a while he has to be watching TV going, Barry, how'd we not go to a darn Super Bowl?
Oh, my goodness. You know, I always look at it and I see those players. And in fact, I was going to tell some people, I'm going to be bringing back a lot of nostalgia from the 90s. And it's not to just make people forget about what's going on now, but it's just to remind us that we've had some tremendous talent, but now is a time to really get behind this team, because I think they are our next best chance and our next best opportunity for a Super Bowl. And I'm very, very excited about this young, talented team, very excited about the head coach. And for Barry and I and Chris Spillman, this will be, and Lomas Brown, all the guys that are still around, we will enjoy their success as if it's our own.
Yeah, Lomas comes on the Huge Show, good friend of the Michigan Sports Network, and he speaks highly of you. Herman, I know you're a busy man. On behalf of the Huge Show, the Michigan Sports Network, the Collaborative Lab, and also your friends from the Eagle Casino and Sportsbook app, thank you so much for stopping by.
It's always a pleasure. You guys do a fantastic job, and thank you very much for representing our state well.
Yeah, thank you, Herman, man. Look at that. I'm bonding with Herman Moore, with Lomas Brown. He said that I'm like a brother to him, like Barry Sanders. Bill Simonson, BS. Barry Sanders, BS. Thank you, Herman.
Pleasure.
All right, Herman Moore. Now, I'm ready to deliver a huge opinion. Thanks for Herman stopping by here. We're on stage one. I do have my huge opinion set on the Lions and a prediction I made on the Huge Show just a couple of weeks ago. Hold on, this is TV. I got to get it right here. There we go. Right here. There we go. Right, huge opinion. All right, here's why the Lions will go to 2 Super Bowls. One, we just talked about Sheila Hamp. When you drop the Ford name, you understand what the vibe was and the temperature in the state of Michigan when it comes to the Ford family and how they've ran the Lions. That's the first positive. Second, Brad Holmes, and I mentioned Spillman and John Dorsey and his connections to the NFL. They're going to knock it out with picks 6 and 18 in the draft, 2 second-rounders, and free agency starts here in 8 days. And I look for the Lions to strengthen a team that really was one of the top 8 in the league, not just the NFC, in the league to end the season after they hammered the Packers and kept them from the playoffs. And 3, Jared Goff. You know what? Chief Ed Viverette from the North Muskegon Police Department, he just upped my bonus. I got 3 free months of going 15 over in North Muskegon. I believe Goff will win a Super Bowl. And people in Detroit say, well, are you crazy? You forget Goff went to a Super Bowl with the Rams? I know Stafford won it. And I know I made a prediction a year ago that Goff would win more games in a Lions uniform than Stafford in year 1 in L.A. That didn't go well. I needed some treatment for a good 8 months on that to get over the embarrassment in the crow, which I put on a few extra pounds after eating all the crow. But trust me when I say it, if the Lions can get home field advantage twice in the next 5 years, they will be going to a Super Bowl. Will they win it? That comes down to luck, and you can ask the Chiefs and the Eagles in the last Super Bowl. And that is my huge opinion. We'll have more here on our celebration after this network TO.
Imagine this, winning big at Soaring Eagle. Get nothing but nets and win up to $15,000 cash. It's the $100,000 Hoop to Win every Saturday in March, 6 to 11 p.m. Shoot to win each week. Then on March 25th, players compete for up to $15,000. The $100,000 Hoop to Win giveaway. Only at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Your getaway reimagined. Visit SoaringEagleCasino.com for complete rules and details.
Bill Simonson here for Roast Umber Coffee. It's a farm direct coffee sourced from Central American farmers and roasted in Grand Rapids. And their Nitro Cold Brew Coffee is a convenient and healthy option with no sugar or additives. So if you want a great coffee or energy drink to power you through your morning and your day, it's available in ground or whole bean or in cans. More information on the website and direct delivery to your door at roastumber.com.
The Winery Dogs, live in concert Monday, March 13th at 7:30 p.m. live on stage at DeVos Performance Hall. Back in full force, don't miss the vibrant powerhouse trio, the Winery Dogs, with their fresh hooks, gut bucket grooves, and bold harmonies. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. March 13th at DeVos Performance Hall. For tour info, check out thewinerydogs.com.
They say consistency is the key to success. they weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Fish on! The Ultimate Sports Show Grand Rapids is back March 9 through 12.
Over 4 football fields of fishing tackle, fishing boats, fishing trips, and hunting gear, all inside the Boss Place.
Shop 2 acres of the newest tackle from Michigan dealers who know Michigan waters and game fish.
With traveling specialty baits only available here once a year.
Book the trip of a lifetime at lodges, fly-ins, charters, and resorts.
Meet the guides and lodge owners at the show.
It's a fishing boat supermarket.
Get the best boat prices of the year from dealers who specialize in rigging them right.
Free fishing and hunting seminars from the pros and guides on 5 stages.
See Lake Ultimate with bass boats floating right on the lake.
Plus rock climb and trout pond for the kids and the hog trough, a truck-size aquarium filled with game fish.
And the lumberjacks are back. See them climbing, chopping, and log rolling on Lake Ultimate.
It's all at the Ultimate Sports Show this Thursday through Sunday at DeVos Place.
Downtown Grand Rapids.
Sportsmen never miss it.
Join the fun and become a puzzle master. Van Andel Institute Purple Community is back for the 2nd annual Be Brave Puzzle event on March 11th. This family-friendly event will raise funds for breast cancer research at Van Andel Institute. Learn more at vai.org.
You're listening to The Huge Show on the Michigan Sports Network.
We are back off air doing our interviews with our great clients, partners, friends of The Huge Show on the Michigan Sports Network here from the Collaborative Lab in Comstock Park. Now, Chief Ed Viverette, you heard me mention him in my opening. He is the Chief of Police for North Muskegon. I've come to know Chief Viverette and other great men and women in law enforcement through Tim Wheeler and the Michigan Association of Chiefs of Police and their partnership with The Huge Show on our Wednesday 5:45 True Blue presentation, where we showcase the great things happening in law enforcement in the state of Michigan, and also help with almost 4,000 jobs open in law enforcement. And Chief Ed, man, good to see you again.
Glad to be here.
Man, do you hear me mention you with Herman Moore? How cool is that?
That's too nice. I'm gonna have to pay you for that later.
Oh, trust me, you'll get it. So we'll get to the Lions in a moment, but you've been on all sides of law enforcement in terms of working East Side, West Side.
Yes.
The commitment, those who choose to serve and protect our communities. Talk about what it means to be a police officer, let alone the Chief of Police of North Muskegon.
Well, first of all, it's a great honor to be a police officer, but it is a challenging job. And that's one of the things that I think people need to know how much a commitment it is from. You're just not a police officer Monday through Friday, Saturday and Sunday. You're a police officer 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. From working from the east side of the state of Michigan, working for the Michigan State Police, to being now where I'm at, it's like I've grown up a little bit, and the chief of police over there, and the west side is the best side. So I'm loving it being a chief. It's an honor and a privilege to be a chief in that community.
Yeah, West Side is the best side.
West Side is the best side.
I like that. You need a T-shirt in North Muskegon.
I will make one.
You will with the police.
Yeah.
West Side is the best side.
That's right.
I just want 52% of what you make off of it. For someone that will hear this, because we're doing it in front of the audience here during our local breaks, but it also will air on The Huge Show across Michigan on the Michigan Sports Network. I mentioned something that was shocking when I was at the Michigan Association of Chiefs of Police annual convention in downtown GR. There are almost 4,000 openings in law enforcement in America.
In the state of Michigan.
Oh, excuse me, the state of Michigan, yes.
The state of Michigan.
I don't want to, 4,000 in Michigan.
Yes.
Let alone what the country has to offer, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. You can be from anywhere from a small town city police officer to a tribal police to a county sheriff to the Michigan State Police, from above the Mackinac Bridge all the way down to Monroe County. There's openings any place you want to take this great career.
So what's the easiest way? If somebody sees this, they're listening to it, and they want to move into law enforcement, a man or woman who wants to serve and protect, what's the easiest way to become part of a law enforcement agency in Michigan?
So the easiest way is to go to the MCO's website, the Michigan MCO's website, which talks about the standards to be a police officer, and they list every job, not every job, but most jobs that's out there. Or you can just go to your local police department, because I guarantee you your local police department is hiring.
Yeah, and just stop in, right? Check the local county, city, state website, right?
Yep. And go to and the Michigan State Police has
Google it, probably pretty simple, right?
Absolutely.
All right, Lions prediction. You heard me talking to Herman Moore. I mentioned you in my opening segment. You're a huge Lions fan, wearing Lions gear right now.
Just letting you know.
I know.
24/7.
Stafford's not there. Goff's a man. We both agree with that, right?
We both agree with that.
All right. You heard Herman. I believe if they can get home field advantage twice in the next 5 years, they're going to a Super Bowl. How are you feeling about the Lions' future?
Wow, that's a big.
Well, you're saying that like wild, like you want to put handcuffs on me.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull you back.
Wow,
a
that's
bit.
Too big?
I think it's too big.
Why? That's saying the Lions are going to go not only to 1 but 2 Super Bowls? I mean, they got a good track record.
I would stretch to say maybe 1. You remember I've been a Lions season ticket holder for about 20 years, and I went to Green Bay when they were 0-16. I didn't believe that then, but I was in Green Bay when they lost there. So
you were going to be there for the only win, right?
I was going to be there for the only win, so I'm a little tempered.
And I heard the story that you walked from north of Muskegon across the ice to go to that game.
I'm going to go with that.
Man, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you for having
me. Chief Ed Viverette, North Muskegon Police Department. Good man. Thank you so much, Chief. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for having me.
All right.
I appreciate you.
Chief Ed Viverette joining us here on The Huge Show. We are back live across Michigan and also live on Soundstage 1 at the beautiful Collaborative Lab. This is like a Hollywood movie set, something you'd see in New York City. It's in West Michigan, businesses, bands, individuals, companies, sports teams. It's all here for you. Go to thecollaborativelab.com. Just Google that, and also we'll be sharing some of the videos and sound from our broadcast. Tom Izzo will join us later. Drew Neitzel will check in. My good friend Tom Rosenbach from Bean Garter, Mark Ewell, Executive Director of the Michigan High School Athletic Association. He'll check in before the end of this hour. And earlier, I had a chance to talk to one of the greatest basketball coaches the state of Michigan has ever seen. John, welcome to our 4th anniversary show on the Michigan Sports Network. We're here in the Collaborative Lab, west side of the state. John currently helping out the Pistons, legendary coach at all levels, good man on and off the air, and thanks for stopping by.
Thanks, Hughes. It's always good to be on your show, and especially to commemorate this anniversary.
So this anniversary is happening in March. College coaches live for March. We've watched Juwan Howard in Michigan last 2 games on the road at Assembly Hall in Champaign-Urbana. They could have finished 2nd in the Big Ten. They battled, they fought. You can see the difference March basketball brings to a college team. What do you remember through all the marches when you were a head coach?
Yeah, these are the favorite. This is what is my favorite time of the year, and what I remember so much as I look all the way back to, Canisius making the tournament in 1996. It's a magical time, and there's something about spring, and you wake up and the birds are chirping and the sun sets a little bit later and you're playing in the postseason. And especially when you go into your tournament, because there's so much unknown. You just go in and you don't know whether you pack bags for 4 or 5 days, but you might be going home in 1. So it's really an intriguing time. It's special, and absolutely anything can happen over these next 4 or 5 days in every tournament in the country.
Yeah, Big Ten tournament this weekend, and also Selection Sunday. Michigan, I think they have some work to do. I believe the quality losses at Illinois and Indiana will be a plus come Selection Sunday, but beat Rutgers. I think they still have a shot. Beat Rutgers and Purdue. They're in the pressure to win on the kids, on the coaches when it comes to March Madness and the conference tournaments and the NCAA tournaments. What's that like?
It's pretty intense, but I think they'll take a read. All the teams will take a read from their coaches. I used to be so stressed out, but I faked it like crazy, going the best that I could going into these tournaments, especially when we were a bubble team. And that happened over more than a few times between even West Virginia. We were a bubble team one time, and then a couple of times at Michigan as well. So you just go in, but then when you get into a mindset, Bill, that hey, this is the tournament, and let's just go. We prepared all year for this. I think that's what helped us have any success we had, is that coming from Canisius and Richmond, where you had to win it, going to a situation of being a power conference, that I always felt we were pretty prepared for this time of the year, and let's just play.
John, how about your plane sliding off the runway in Ypsilanti, and your team goes on that unbelievable run? I get goosebumps. I will say I'm pretty neutral. I got goosebumps when I had Izzo on the show, and I'm getting goosebumps going back and talking with you after it and not knowing what's happening as that plane isn't getting lift. You're wondering if you're going to live, and the way your team responded, the way the coaches responded, one of the best things I've ever saw in March Madness.
Well, Bill, I really thought when we met with the team, we went back. There was no power anywhere in Ann Arbor because it was such a bad, windy day. And when we went back and met with the team, I didn't think we were making that trip the next day. We said, the bus going to leave at 7. We play at 12. And if you guys are on that bus, we'll go play the game. And we'll catch the flight and play the game. But I really thought maybe, that was enough. We'll take our chances. We were in position to be in the bubble. But then to go and just scratch out the scouting report and then just go play the best basketball we played since probably 14. It was the best basketball Michigan had played. It was something I'll always remember, and certainly one of my favorite moments of all time, of going through those 5 days and 4 games in Washington, D.C.
And playing in your practice uniforms after the plane crash, and you can have a light moment about it now, but it really, I think, changed a lot of people on that plane, and it showed your leadership, something I really admire about you on and off the court, your leadership. You now have transitioned to the Pistons. We'll get that conversation going in a moment, but your thoughts on this Michigan team in the Big Ten tournament and what they need to do to hear their name on Sunday and make it to the NCAA tournament.
I try to turn everything into a positive that I possibly can, but knowing my teams of the past, the ones that had like really tough losses in February and March, ones that were right there. We certainly have had some where we're right there. Usually you learn these bits from them, and you're really good in March when it really counts. You'll learn things from the Indiana, from the Illinois game, that all of a sudden you're going to be in a similar situation in the tournament, and the team's going to respond from it. And that's the way you have to really coach the whole season. But they forget about a December game where things went awry, and now you're in a situation similar to that in the tournament. But they will remember, what happened in this last month, where they had great wins, amazing wins. And then, but they also had some tough losses. So hopefully it's going to be the fertilizer they need right now to grow and then move forward in this tournament. They can win this tournament. I think with the exception maybe of Minnesota. I mean, everybody can make a run, and who knows what Minnesota will do tomorrow. But I think any team can make a run like we did back in 2017, where we were not a high seed. We were a good team, but not a high seed.
Tell you what, John, I know you're working with the Pistons, but you just used the phrase fertilizer to grow. I think you're headed towards March Madness as a color commentator. Good job. Yeah, fertilizer kind of fits the show. Bill Simonson, BS on Sports. Before I let you go, I do want to talk about your role with the Pistons, the move back to the NBA after your experience as head coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers. What's it been like inside the practice facility, team playing, working with the Pistons?
Being an assistant coach has been very different for me, and I've just tried to grab that role and try to be the best I can in that role. And we've been, in those 2 years, we've been through so many different things, especially with injuries and a young team. So I see growth all the time. But when you're trying to grow, but you're playing against Damian Lillard one night, or you're playing against Donovan Mitchell another night, it is hard. It's hard to see that development that we end up seeing. So I like the role that I have. I try to do as much as I can, and we're in position right now to finish down the stretch, learn as much as we can from every game, and then go forward with a really young roster that's gained valuable experience during these last 2 years where we didn't win a lot, but we certainly we developed in a lot of areas.
John, I appreciate your time here on our 4th anniversary show. 4 years with Marty Boer and the Michigan Sports Network team from the Collaborative Lab. When you see this video, now we're live across 19 stations in Michigan right now, but when you see this video, you will say to yourself, I never realized how good looking Bill Simonson really is.
I'll wait and see that.
Well, I almost left you speechless on that one, Johnny. Okay?
Bill, I've loved being on your show for all these years, and God willing, I hope I have many more years that we can talk about a lot of things, because I enjoyed it despite the stress when I was coaching, or even now. I enjoy every minute that we can talk. So thanks for the opportunity. Congratulations on this great run with your show.
And John, we will play golf in Northern Michigan this year. My good friend Raul will join me in CC, and we'll get a foursome going. Okay, buddy?
That would be great.
All right.
Have a good day.
Yeah, take care, man. And that's my good friend John Beilein, and a great friend of the show, not only during the last 4 years with the Michigan Sports Network, but nearly 22 years with the huge show. And since the day he took over, man, he did a great job with the Wolverines, and now helping out the Pistons with their shooting. Maybe he could help them out with a little defense. Tom Izzo will join us later. Drew Neitzel within 30 minutes. We're here at the Collaborative Lab in Comstock Park, Soundstage 1. If you're a business, small or big, Fortune 500, band, company, individuals, charity groups, this is an unbelievable sound and video destination. Just Google the Collaborative Lab. We'll talk to Andy from the Collab Lab coming up later. Up next, my good friend Mark Ewell from the Michigan High School Athletic Association will join us, and he'll pay tribute to his longtime relationship with the Michigan Sports Network.
Live from the Collaborative Lab, it's the 4th anniversary celebration of The Huge Show on the Michigan Sports Network.
At Mercantile Bank, we believe supporting the communities we serve is a vital part of who we are. Our team is here to make a positive impact, a real difference, and we're always looking for leaders to join our team, because we're not just a bank, we're a partner, here to support what matters most. Come grow with us. Visit mercbank.com to learn more, and let's support our community together. Mercantile Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Employer.
Huge here for the Michigan High School Athletic Association. You can stay up to date on the latest from Lansing 24/7 at MHSAA.com, at MHSAA on Twitter, and MHSAA on Facebook. The latest news, press releases, and stories connected to every high school in the state of Michigan, available for you 24/7 from the Michigan High School Athletic Association. Log on to MHSAA.com, at MHSAA on Twitter, and MHSAA on Facebook. And if you're looking for archived boys and girls high school sports, MHSAA.TV. That's MHSAA.TV. 24/7, everything you need to know about high school sports in Michigan. Log on to MHSAA.com.
Hey, Michigan, let's go big. I'm Herman Moore, Lions All-Pro wide receiver, and I'm talking real big-time winning on the hottest slots and table games on one incredible app, Eagle Casino and Sports.
Sign up now and get up to $1,500. That's right. We'll match your first 2 deposits for up to $1,500, plus 100 free spins.
Eagle Casino and Sports. Made in Michigan, made for Michigan.
Must be 21 or older and in Michigan to play.
Huge here with a reminder for everybody to join Van Andel Institute Purple Community and the Grand Rapids Griffins for the Purple Game on Friday, March 10th at Van Andel Arena in downtown GR to benefit cancer awareness. Find out more at vai.org. That's vai.org.
From the biggest of big games to the littlest of the little.
There you go! Run, James! No, first base! Go, run!
Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest. From some of the biggest stadiums in the state to the familiar fields down the street, you're helping make a difference to the people and places you call home. Learn more at Meijer.com/community.
You're listening to The Huge Show on the Michigan Sports Network.
All right, we're off air, but back on Soundstage 1 here at the Collaborative Lab in Comstock Park, our 4th anniversary Huge Show presentation. Partners with Marty Boer and the Michigan Sports Network, also home to Anthony Bellino, X's and Bros. They were here earlier this morning. Anthony did a great job. Interviewed Brad, who's one of the partners at the Collab Lab. I'll talk to Andy. I mean, this is the place, sound and video, and everybody who, from our invite list with our marketing partners, are just raving about the place. And our good friends from Roast Umber, TJ checks in. I've known TJ a long time, and we just launched a partnership with Roast Umber Coffee and also Roast Umber and their nitro cold fueled beverages. So Tom, tell me about Roast Umber, Grand Rapids-based company, Central America, the coffee's provided. This company is just beginning its launch.
Right. It's just beginning. We kicked it off in July of last year, and we're with Imperial Beverage throughout the whole state of Michigan. And it's a product where you can either get it online or getting in stores, grocery stores. And we're really just right now working on the distribution part of it. So we're really starting to get some inroads, and with your help and some of the radio advertising I've heard from you, it's been awesome. So.
Yeah, roastumber.com, that's UMBER, and I'm looking at this Nitro Cold Brew can. I know Jeff Risden, one of our Lions insiders, when I was on vacation, drank the 4 we had in studio. What about this Nitro Cold Brew and the thing, I think less sugar or no sugar, or why it's appealing and why it's really moving right now for Roast Umber?
Sure, if you look at the back with the nutritional facts, there's no calories in this product whatsoever. It's shelf stable, and we work with Michigan State actually to make sure the product is shelf stable. And if you look, it's very clean. There's just not a whole lot in there.
You know what, Tom? I realized that there's nutritional facts on the back of products. I have never, this entire day at the Collab Lab is amazing. There are nutrition facts. Marty Boer, you and your better half, you better talk to Marty about the nutritional facts. Me and him need to start reading this. Wow. No fat, no sodium, no sugar, nitro cold brew. Nothing. I'm not saying anything, Marty. Don't take it personal.
Because actually, the owner of our company, Brad Guacamire, is...
Who's out of Monroe, Michigan.
Out of Monroe, Michigan.
Home of Anthony Bellino and Danny Swine Foods, yeah.
And he's in Honduras right now, and Guatemala. And so I was just a little worried when I heard about the kidnappings. You know, I didn't want my owner to be kidnapped, but he's
doing okay.
Yeah, he's on his way back right now.
So you get your coffee beans from Central America.
Central America, yes.
And then, as it says right here, roasted and packaged in Grand Rapids. So this is a Michigan company.
Yep.
It's a Michigan coffee.
Yes.
It's the official wake-up energy drink of the Huge Show. TJ is with Roast Umber. Go to roastumber.com. That's roastumber.com. Dairy-free, gluten-free, non-GMO.
Right. And we have other products in the works right now. So we have decaf and all that, but mostly in bags.
So it's coffee too, not just a nitro cold brew that we're holding here.
No, it is coffee.
People can go to roastumber.com or look for it in their local stores.
Yes. And you can even heat this. If you want to pour this in a cup and heat it in a microwave, you can even do that.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love it. And thank you so much for the partnership.
Well, thank you. You've been
really
awesome
special
so far.
Yeah, with Marty Boer and the Michigan Sports Network and Brett Hayes, our executive producer, what we do, and having Roast Umber and watching you guys launch from the ground up and partner with us means a lot. It's an awesome year welcoming new partners like yourself and Mercantile Bank and so many others to the show, Michigan Association of Police and Chiefs, or Chiefs of Police, and it says a lot about the show and the Michigan Sports Network.
Oh,
Thank you, TJ.
You and I go back like 23 years.
Yeah, no.
From my Miller Coors days.
It's all relationships.
Yep.
Life is about relationships.
And I think you
it?
promoted our brand, Miller Lite, for like 20 years.
20
almost,
years,
so.
and I had to move in a different direction.
Yep.
But that's all good.
And
TJ.
so did I.
Yeah,
now I'm selling coffee.
And we're together.
Right.
Roastumber.com,
Yep.
all right? Roastumber.com.
Yep.
Check it out. Nitro cold brew that I'm holding in the can, coffee, decaf. You can go to roastumber.com. Had to make sure. I wanted to make sure.
Yep.
All right. Thank you, my man. Okay.
And then look for it in the local stores, too.
All right, TJ. Welcome back to Collaborative Lab in Comstock Park, Michigan, on the west side of the state. We're here, our 4th anniversary celebration with clients, with listeners, with the Collab Lab. You're getting the video version of the huge show on the Michigan Sports Network. 4 years with Marty Boer and the crew, and a gentleman who's been with us for the entire 4 years, I think started just after I started with Marty Boer and the Michigan Sports Network. Mark Ewell, Executive Director of the Michigan High School Athletic Association. He joins us on Soundstage 1. How you doing, my man?
Congratulations. Good to be here.
Yeah, 4 quick years with the Michigan Sports Network. Our partnership with your Wednesday sponsorship, with the growth of high school sports, with the video element that we're bringing to radio today. Talk about the Huge Show partnership, why it happened, and what it's meant to the Michigan High School Athletic Association.
You know, there are some things in life and in leadership that really you just kind of get lucky with. And this has certainly been one of those partnerships. You know, we started, I think, in 2019 into 20. And I'll never forget, Bill, the Wednesday of March of 2020, just before kind of the whole world shut down. I can remember I was on air with you remotely. I was in my car about ready to head into a doctor's appointment. And when I got off the air with you, out of my appointment, it literally within the next hour, we made the decision to shut down everything due to COVID. And
shut down everything at the high school level.
Everything.
All the sports, right?
All the sports. And really looking back, I get asked a lot, you know, what were the COVID years like? And I would not wish those on anybody. It was the most miserable 18 months of my life. But the one really good thing that came out of that was because of our partnership I had in your generosity with that. I'll never be able to really thank you enough, is we had a vehicle where we could speak directly to the people. We were getting out emails and correspondence with our school athletic directors, you know, in March and April and May, and, you know, what's next and what's the fall going to look like and what are we thinking. But, you know, the opportunity to be with you on your show on heck, it was more than a weekly basis back then. Because I think during March and April of 2020, people just wanted information. Nobody knew really what was going on and what was next, and the ability that we had to be on the Huge Show on a regular basis and just talk directly to people to show them how much we were fighting and advocating. I think with that, I will always look at our relationship and just really appreciate how special that was, just because you really gave us that platform to connect.
And you had to cancel the winter championships in the spring sports in the spring of 2020, and you were on sometimes 3 times a week because there wasn't any sports going on.
Right.
So you and I had this incredible start to this on-air, off-air relationship, and I tell everybody I know, both on the Huge Show and off-air, that your leadership during the pandemic and how you fought, and I don't mean physically or literally, but how you fought with health agencies, and when I say fought for the kids, with Lansing, with the state capitol, and to watch that morph into getting all 3 seasons in the following year, which was your goal, for the kids who missed the winter championships in the spring. And I still get this today when I meet a high school coach, like east side of the state, up north, when I'm traveling with the Huge Show. They'll go, oh yeah, you're the guy, you had Mark Ewell on. We turn to you for updates almost every day on the pandemic. And that's the service I think the show provided, and it showed your commitment and your team and your executive council in Lansing at the MHSAA that you're there always for the kids. And now we're back to normalcy, and I'm at a district game last night for Russell's Eastern and West Michigan Aviation Academy, and FHE will play Grand Rapids Christian on Wednesday night. I'll be there, and scanning my tickets, where a lot of people are like, oh, I can't use cash. I got to scan my tickets. But we're into the meat of the winter championships, which would be girls basketball, boys basketball at the district level, girls at the regional level, and both will end at the Breslin.
They will. We're into our last 3 weeks. Boys district tournament, as you said, kicked off last night. So 3 weeks of boys. We're down to 2 weeks left of girls. This coming weekend, it's our ice hockey, gymnastics, and swimming and diving championships. And 4 of our winter sports have already reached the finish line. And yeah, what is neat is, so much of our on-air relationship early on was about the pandemic, but now it's almost like we're back to normal controversy. My email box right now is, about, complaints about officiating and getting assigned to this tournament site and that tournament site. And most importantly, it's kind of what's next, what's next on our radar. How can we keep kind of pushing the envelope to grow and improve and really do the best job we can to really serve, to meet the needs of those that we serve.
Oh, I'm looking at the Huge Show on Twitter and some of the comments on the feed. I can't believe you have to use, a credit card for tickets. And I'm like, come on, man. I mean, it's organized. It was something you learned from the pandemic.
It was.
When you couldn't take cash, and I find it to be easier and expedite things, especially at a big game or when you got a doubleheader for a boys district or a girls district, playoff action. It's easier.
We never sold more tickets ever than we did last school year in our tournaments, and that was all digital tickets. So the argument that we're somehow turning dozens or hundreds of people away that aren't coming, and the other thing, Bill, is you ask our school people, they love not handling cash. The biggest way that folks can get into trouble is when you're handling cash and the counting of...
Lose it, or, the bag is missing, right?
All of those kinds of things. So you talk to any school business official, and they love the fact that we're all cashless. And, yeah, we understand there's a transition period with this, but... like I said, all-time record ticket sales last year, and we're getting good feedback from our schools, so I think we found the right lane.
And this was the right length and the perfect interview because we touched on the emotions, we talked about all the good things happening, and you and I always get into the mailbox and you listen to the fans. You listen to the schools, you listen to the student athletes, you listen to the coaches. And that's why you're a great leader of the Michigan High School Athletic Association.
I read every email I get. I may not respond to everyone, but everyone is respected and taken to heart, and some you move on and some you don't. And that's the great thing about our country is everybody has a huge opinion, everybody has a vehicle to reach us, and at the end of the day, though, we're here to serve our member schools, and that's what we try and do.
And what's different between you and I is that I don't read one darn email. No, I do. I read them all too. Mark, man, I appreciate the friendship, the partnership, the commitment to the Huge Show, Marty, and the Michigan Sports Network. I tell everybody this guy can run the NFL, the Big Ten, the MAC, his leadership. I've seen it live. I've seen it off air. You're a good man. And also you're a sports dad. So good luck to the DeWitt girls basketball team because there's a lot of family connections there. So good luck to DeWitt, okay?
Thanks, Bill. Congratulations.
All right, Mark Ewell, Executive Director of the Michigan High School Athletic Association, joining us here on our 4th anniversary celebration on the Michigan Sports Network from the Collaborative Lab in GR. Thank you, Mark.
Bet.
We are back on Soundstage 1 with the crew here at the Collab Lab, you can call it, collaborativlab.com. Check it out. Superfly Hayes is our executive producer back in downtown Grand Rapids at our flagship station, 96.1 The Game. On the way, Drew Neitzel, Tom Izzo, and more as we celebrate 4 years on the Michigan Sports Network. Thanks to Marty Boer, his better half, Jeff Morton, the entire team, Hannah, our director, Andy, and everybody, Brad, here at the Collab Lab. We'll talk to all of our friends who have made it out here. It's a big day for the Huge Show and the Michigan Sports Network at the Collab Lab in Comstock Park.
Big, bad, huge.
We are back off air doing our stage interviews with longtime partners, new partners, people who believe in the Huge Show, who really make things like this happen. and the show happened on a daily basis on 19 stations across Michigan, online at Huge Show on Twitter, The Huge Show on Facebook. Hillary and Allison from Van Andel Arena, DeVos Performance Hall, and DeVos Place, they sponsor Fridays on the Huge Network. And between those two and their 3 locations, and Rich McKeegan and their crew, very busy, which says something about the vibrant lifestyle in downtown GR, West Michigan. Welcome to our celebration.
Thank you.
Oh, are you guys singing a song in a few minutes?
We practiced it.
You practice. Oh, hold on, a little song here in a moment. Who are you opening for? Kane Brown? What's going on?
Yeah, next week. So we're practicing today for a show next week.
Yeah, the shows, everything post-pandemic. I mentioned this on air just with Mark Ewell. Our show, the massive list of sponsors, supporters, listeners, ratings, go down the list. And I see the same thing with Van Andel Arena, DeVos Performance Hall, and DeVos Place, where I'll be on Thursday for the Ultimate Sports Show with Henry Boucher and the crew. Let's talk about some of the upcoming shows happening in downtown GR at DeVos Place, DeVos Performance Hall, and Van Andel Arena. What are some of the big ones coming up?
Yeah, so next week we have a really big week at all buildings, and so they're actually all dog related, and so we have decided to call it Dog Week next week.
Dog related?
Yes. Monday we have the Winery Dogs, which is like a rock band. So that's at DeVos Performance Hall Monday, March 13th, and then Tuesday and Wednesday we have Paw Patrol Live, also at the theater.
I got front row seats for that.
It's going to be a good one.
Yes.
Yes.
Paw Patrol, we all need to see that.
Yeah, and then in addition to that, we also have Paws, Claws, and Corks on Wednesday night, which is in the Convention Center and is in support of the Humane Society. So we just thought, what a great idea to, make it all one big week worth of promotions. And so we'll be collecting pet supplies all week long, and we'll be donating them all to the Humane Society. So that's a few things we have going on next week.
Yeah, so between Van Andel Arena, DeVos Performance Hall, and DeVos Place in downtown GR, I mentioned the Ultimate Sports Show this weekend at DeVos Place. But DeVos Performance Hall, and I'm not saying it's lost in the shuffle because it has great shows like the Winery Dogs, but that is such a fabulous venue to watch a show at.
It is, and we're so excited that...
You okay?
We're so excited that Broadway Grand Rapids just announced their upcoming season, so a lot of great shows with that. We have Aladdin and MJ. So fantastic productions continuing with Broadway. And of course we have the Grand Rapids Symphony, Opera Grand Rapids, and the Grand Rapids Ballet that perform at DeVos Performance Hall. And we do a lot of different touring events too. And so Allison mentioned a few, but we have a lot of great things coming. We have Brit Floyd coming in May, which is the #1 Pink Floyd tribute band. And they do a fantastic production with they sound just like Pink Floyd, but they do the laser lights and the LED screens and all the special effects. So it's an awesome production. So a lot of great things.
Yeah, and again, you get the biggest names in music at Van Andel Arena. So beyond your Dog Week, what are some of the big shows where tickets just went on sale or some still do remain at Van Andel Arena in downtown GR?
Yeah, we have really big names this year. Just to name one is Kane Brown, which you mentioned earlier. So we have Kane Brown next week, Thursday at the arena, followed by Cat Williams. So maybe not music, but comedy. So we have Cat Williams bringing his tour to the arena next week, Saturday. And then we also have Morgan Wallen. Everybody knows who that is, right? So we
Are
have
there any tickets left for that?
There are no tickets left for that.
Yeah,
I know it's not surprising, but we do have him in April, which is just to say that, we might be a small venue in the grand scheme of we're no Soldier Field, we're no Ford Field, but we do get these big acts that are playing in such big stadiums and arenas. And then we also have Jim Gaffigan, and there are tickets available for that show.
One of the funniest guys on the planet.
Yes,
right?
Yes, and that's in April as well. So.
Yeah, one thing Kid Rock told me, and I had a chance to get to know him about 3 years ago, and he said Grand Rapids, the crowd interaction, and why he loves to come there, that, amongst the touring acts, it's really one of the livelier crowds. And what people are willing to do is also, pay bigger money to see the bigger names in Grand Rapids with the convenience of going downtown, grabbing a drink, grabbing dinner. And so you get Van Andel Arena, you get DeVos Performance Hall, and you get all the shows happening at DeVos Place. So much to offer. And just part of the growth, man. The downtown amphitheater is coming. Rich McKeegan was in studio a few months ago talking about that and the new soccer stadium. So thank you so much, ladies, okay?
Thank you.
All right, Hillary and Allison from Van Andel Arena, DeVos Performance Hall, and DeVos Place in downtown GR. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Enjoy the celebration. Thanks for coming out.
The following is a presentation of the Michigan Sports Network.
Live from the Collaborative Lab in Comstock Park, Michigan, it's the 4th anniversary celebration of the Huge Show on the Michigan Sports Network. Today's statewide broadcast is being brought to you by the Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort, Eagle Sportsbook and Casino app, Budweiser and Fabiano's Distributing, Meyer and the 2023 Meyer LPGA Classic for Simply Give, Mercantile Bank, the Michigan Association of Chiefs of Police, Bean Carter, the Michigan High School Athletic Association, Tully Moore Golf Resort, Roast Umber Coffee, Van Andel Arena, DeVos Performance Hall, and DeVos Place in Grand Rapids, the Grand Rapids Gold, Van Andel Institute, Brand Steakhouse and Grills, the Grand Rapids Griffins, Mr. Car Wash, the LPGA's Dow Great Lakes Bay Invitational, Showspan, and this weekend's Ultimate Sports Show in downtown Grand Rapids, Berlin Raceway, and special thanks to Marty Boer and the Michigan Sports Network, all of our statewide radio affiliates, Huge Show executive producer Brett Hayes, and you, the loyal listeners. Now, let's go live to Soundstage 1 inside the Collaborative Lab in Comstock Park with the huge one, Bill Simonson.
What's up, Michigan? It is hour number 2 of our 4th anniversary on the Michigan Sports Network celebration inside this unbelievable place, the Collaborative Lab in Comstock Park. If you're a business, small or big, individual, band, sports team, you need to check this out. For any video, audio needs, they got the Zoom room, which is known as Studio B. They got the big video wall. They can handle 100, 150 people as a studio audience. You can take care of business. You can even bring in one of the greatest high school basketball players ever in West Michigan, one of the greatest Big Ten basketball players ever, and now a dad, 2 wonderful kids, businessman here on the west side of the state. Drew Neitzel joins us. What's up, my man?
Hey, thanks for having me, as always.
Yeah, March Madness, you were the perfect fit.
I'm glad I can fit in one time a year.
Would you call me like Al Pacino of sports radio with all the cameras and everything going on?
Yeah, this is a big production.
Isn't it?
I mean, huge production.
Yeah, someone just asked me over there, like, is this what you're going to do every day on the show? And I'm like, sure, I'm going to take a month to prepare for every show. But I'll say this, with the Collab Lab, and you're in business, and you get it. And you've been around, networks and stuff. This is pretty cool in West Michigan, what they have.
First class, cool setup we got going today.
All right, and Drew, by the way, also is with Brett Bakita. March means March Madness for Michigan State and the Big Ten, which we'll get to in a moment. NCAA Selection Sunday's coming up on Sunday, and Drew hooks up with Brett Bakita on 96.1 The Game in Grand Rapids. Girls and boys playoff action when it comes to hoops and the road to the Breslin. I'll get his thoughts on that in a moment. But Tom Izzo, Michigan State, and we'll talk to Tom here in about an hour. Here they are again, a team that a lot of us doubted during the season, unranked, not sure when it begins.
Yeah.
And they have a shot now to win the Big Ten tourney, and I think they're a potential Sweet 16, if not deeper team.
Yeah, definitely exceeded pretty much everybody's expectation outside of the group that was in that locker room night in and night out in East Lansing. So it's been a heck of a run, just another epic coaching, performance from Coach Izzo and his staff this season. So looking forward to seeing how this team kind of peaks here in the month of March. And looks like we're going to get maybe a little bit of a revenge game with the Hawkeyes, hopefully, in that first round of the tournament.
And up 13 with 90 seconds to go.
Yeah, it'll be interesting how the guys come out after that one, right? They're going to be seeing some demons out there? Are they going to be fired up to get some revenge? Because we had that game Looking back on it, it's nothing we really did wrong. I missed a couple free throws, maybe a turnover, but they hit some crazy threes, and sometimes the stars align, and those things kind of happen, especially on the road.
Well, you play with Izzo, and the thing I marvel about Izzo, whether it's a run in a game or things are going the other way, or it's a tough loss or stretch, he finds a way to get the team back, right?
Yeah.
You played for him. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Absolutely. He knows how to rally the troops with the best of them and use those things as motivation tactics, right? And find new ways to get his guys going. And I think they're going to be motivated. I think they'll put on a good performance in Chicago this weekend. And the thing with college basketball, we say it every year, but there's so much parity, right? I mean, I think there's a dozen teams that could probably cut the nets down, and not sure if Michigan State's one of those teams, but it's all about matchups, and Coach Izzo pulling off some of his magic in the month of March, and you never know what can happen.
Well, you love to shoot the rock. The thing I like about this team, and when I do my bracket for our Bean Carter Bracket Buster Challenge, I like teams that can shoot, teams that have some guards that can handle the ball. And I'm looking at Michigan State, and they're shooting this year. They're one of the best three-point shooting teams in America.
Yeah, I mean, it helps when Hauser's locked in. Tyson Walker's had a heck of a season. I think he was second team All Big Ten, voted by coaches and media. A.J. Hogard, I think early in the season he was trying to prove people that he could be a shooter, where now he's kind of gotten back to what he does well, and that's getting downhill and creating for his teammates and himself. And he's had a heck of a back end of the season. So I think we're peaking at the right time. A lot of it comes down to what happens with the big guys inside. It's kind of been by committee, and Coach Izzo's pulled all the right strings for the most part of inserting guys depending on matchups and situations. So, those freshmen on the inside, hopefully they're starting to play like sophomores here in the month of March.
Yeah, when A.J. is getting the rock to guys like Akins, and he's knocking down a shot, and Hauser has that confident look I can almost see in the beginning of a game. If he has that look, then he's going to go, get 15 to 21. And I like Izzo. I like his staff. I like the experience. Again, you played for Izzo, and what is it about March? People say it's January, February, Izzo on the calendar.
I think some of it at this point in Coach Izzo's career is, you see the brackets, and those other teams are like, oh no, we have Michigan State, right? They're aware of our resume and the success that we've had, and 8 Final Fours in the Coach Izzo era, and he's so good on that 1 day, 2 day prep, right? When you get that kind of back to back in the NCAA tournament, and I think this is another situation where he's going to have those guys ready, and they spend hours and hours in that film room breaking down film of every opponent, so they're ready whoever they're going to face. We've had our tough outs in the NCAA tournament over the years, but it's been a good run for the most part over the last 20 plus years.
And the tournament that got shut down because of COVID, that was a team that could have won it all, right?
Yep, absolutely. I mean, the talent was there, and I know we're in this year, but I know the future looks bright next year, depending on if we can get some guys to come back as well. But I know Coach Izzo is motivated as ever to win, and I know he wants that second national championship. We've been talking about it for a long time, especially even in the Big Ten, right? Michigan State, the last Big Ten team to win a championship back in 2000. So hopefully, I know we've beat each other up in the Big Ten this year, but hopefully the guys, we can have some good representation in the second weekend, and maybe a couple teams in the Final Four.
Man, I'm getting a tear rolling down my cheek how prepared Drew is, dropping numbers like he's dropping threes at Wyoming Park High or at the Breslin when he's playing for the Spartans. Dropping big-time stats.
I better bring my A game. When I come on the Huge Show, I better be ready. I don't want to make you look bad.
That should be a mic drop if we had mics, but we're using wireless mics. Good stuff with Drew Neitzel. Izzo's going to join me. And his interview had nothing to do with basketball, which is Tom Izzo. A lot of the conversations are basketball. Some aren't at all. I'm talking about friends, teammates, broadcasters. When you left Wyoming Park, because there was a sportscaster that doubted you, his name was Bill Simonson, that said, I don't know if his game transcends to the Big Ten. So I go out to Grand Valley State. I think we playing. I remember the team. Was it Pawpaw? Pawpaw. He said that quick. Hold on. He said that quick. And
I still have a slight chip on my shoulder from that experience, Bill.
I called Tim Knott or whatever, Grand Valley SID. I said, hey, put me on the side. I'm going to watch him. All of a sudden, I see Wyoming Park warming up, and I look over. I've never met Drew, just heard about him, living the high school legend. All of you know that. And he looks at me, and I'm like, I go, is he bowing up on me right now? I'm sitting down here. He drops about 42, 44, whatever he had. And I went back on the next day and said, I was wrong. And I said, that man can play. And then here we are, hanging out. You got your kids. You got a great life here on the west side of the state. Still a big Spartan fan. Took your son. How old is he?
He'll be 4 in August.
Took him to his first MSU game.
Yeah, against Purdue, which was, one of those games. We had it, and they threw it into Edie with a couple seconds left and scored a bucket to win it at the end. But that was an awesome experience for me, kind of going full circle. Had my dad down and my son, so that was a special day. Wish we could have got the win, but he calls Edie the statue. Anytime we see him on TV, he's like, there's the statue, Dad. There's the statue. Wow. I mean, he is.
What does he call you when he sees your film?
I don't know. I haven't pulled out any of the VHS tapes yet.
VHS tapes? Yeah, you're not that old. I'm working on the beta
some of the high school games are they're on VHS. Bro.
VHS. Yeah. Wow, man, we're all getting old, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so when you left Wyoming Park and you played for Izzo at Michigan State, what was it like early under Izzo, and what did he teach you on and off the court that maybe you didn't understand why he was doing it that way, that maybe as you got older, you understood what Coach was trying to do?
Yeah, he prepares you for life, right? Not only at Michigan State, but life after basketball. And, I knew going into East Lansing, they started recruiting me as a freshman in high school. That was in 2000, the year they won the national championship. So the best team in the country right in my backyard. It was like, no-brainer, go to play there. I knew it wasn't going to be easy. What you see is what you get with Coach Izzo, right? He's on you every single day, but as a coach, that's what you want, right? He's going to make you better. And you go to a program like Michigan State to compete for championships, playing Final Fours. He doesn't accept being mediocre, right? He strives every day to get every inch of talent and potential out of his players. So it wasn't an easy journey, my 4 years at Michigan State, but it was well worth it, and I wouldn't have changed a thing, right? Because he's prepared me for life. Losing in the Michigan State program is not fun, and I think that's something I've carried on with life, right? That, you don't want to accept losing. You want to keep moving forward and learn from it. And he's certainly done that, made me a better player, person, and I love getting back and being part of the family atmosphere and culture that he's built at Michigan State. And there's a reason why every time they're showing games on TV, they're showing former Spartans sitting in the crowd, because guys want to get back there, help the current players out, and be a part of what he's built, which is something really special.
I tell everybody who wants to question Tom Izzo, and we'll hear from Coach Izzo in less than an hour here on the Huge Show across Michigan, as we're live from our 4th anniversary on the Michigan Sports Network celebration on Soundstage 1 with the living legend, Drew Knight. So Izzo's conversation was amazing. But when you have those reunion weekends, when you watch how many players return to East Lansing out of tribute or paying tribute to Tom and what he did for them, that's all you need to know about a coach. Look at your local high school, look at a JUCO, 4-year school, look at a pro team. When the players come back and want to see you, that's all you need to know as a coach, right?
Yeah, and they've preached that since I was a freshman in high school when they recruited me to the family atmosphere, and what was going on 20-plus years ago is still happening today, and it's even grown more with guys coming back. And we got guys that played in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and just getting a chance to meet and interact with those guys, it's pretty cool.
It's kind of scary to think, as I try and date you beyond your VHS tapes, your son could be 14 years away from following in your footsteps and playing at Michigan State. Think about that.
That would be pretty cool.
Does that make you feel old?
Makes me feel a little old.
I'm doing that on purpose.
But no pressure on the little guy,
No.
so whatever he wants to do. But he, my wife is a Spartan, so he's bleeding green and white already early in his life. And
I know she didn't even pause and say it would be his decision.
Well, who knows? Coach Izzo, we should ask him. I mean, he might still be there recruiting.
Let me check
Drake.
the Huge Show Twitter feed and see if 4-year-old young Knights has been offered a scholarship. Stick around,
Class
man.
of 2036 or something like that, right?
We're getting old. We are old. I'll be there drinking a prune shake, watching your son at the Breslin. Breslin's going to set up prune shakes. They'll sell. Drew's with us this entire hour. Kathy Cooper and Meyer, proud to be partners with both Michigan State and Michigan. Kathy will join us in our next segment via Zoom from Florida. She's down in Florida getting ready for the Meyer LPGA Classic for Simply Give that returns to the Blythefield Country Club in Plainfield Township, just north of Grand Rapids. Father's Day weekend this year. It's one of the great sports events out there. You've been there, haven't you?
Yep, absolutely. A few times. Played in the Pro-Am a little
Celebrity,
bit.
I see you in the Celebrity.
The Celebrity,
Pro-Am.
yeah.
You're in the Celebrity.
Yeah.
I'm a backup fill-in.
No, it depends.
If celebrities can't make it, they say, hey, Bill, can you play? And then people go, oh, who's my celebrity? They go, Bill Simonson. They're like, that's it? Yeah, so the Meyer LPGA Classic.
Yeah, it's awesome. Great event, for West Michigan. And they get, it's awesome to see the top talent on the LPGA Tour. It's a lot of fun to watch. It makes me feel even worse watching them live in person about my game. So
this guy is an unbelievable golfer, probably future champion, senior tour golfer. He's just Mr. Athlete, Drew Neitzel. 96 won the game with Brett Bakita locally in GR, flagship station, high school coverage, girls and boys basketball, girls into the regional side, boys into the district side on the road to the Breslin. We'll talk about that before the end of the hour. Izzo interview in less than 45 minutes. And on the way, like I said, Kathy Cooper will get an update on the 2023 Meyer LPGA Classic for Simply Give as we're live on Soundstage 1 at the Collab Lab.
Live from the Collaborative Lab, it's the 4th anniversary celebration of The Huge Show on the Michigan Sports Network.
Imagine this, winning big at Soaring Eagle. Get nothing but net and win up to $15,000 cash. It's the $100,000 Hoop to Win every Saturday in March, 6 to 11 p.m. Shoot to win each week. And on March 25th, players compete for up to $15,000. The $100,000 Hoop to Win giveaway. Only at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Your getaway reimagined. Visit SoaringEagleCasino.com for complete rules and details.
Have you been to a Grand Rapids Gold basketball game yet inside Van Andel Arena? They're the Denver Nuggets G League team, and they feature talent from Kentucky, Baylor, Stanford, Duke, and more. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com or the Van Andel Arena box office. And don't forget their home game specials. Tuesdays, 2-for-1 tickets. Thursdays, $2 beers and $2 dogs. And the Sunday Family 4-pack. Get 4 tickets and a $20 concession voucher for only $50. Get your Grand Rapids Gold tickets now.
At Mercantile Bank, we believe in empowering the communities we serve, and that financially strong individuals and families are vital for building strong communities. That's why we're committed to providing budgeting tools and interactive resources designed to help you take charge of your finances. Our friendly staff is always here to help answer questions and provide solutions to help you reach your goals. Call, stop in, or visit us online at mercbank.com to learn more. And let's help you make today count. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you ready for a fun and exciting challenge? Well, you can join Van Andel Institute Purple Community for the 2nd annual Be Brave Puzzle event on March 11th. Gather your team of 4 and compete to be named the Puzzle Master. Teams will have 2 hours to complete a 500-piece puzzle, so bring your problem-solving skills to the table. This exciting event raises funds for breast cancer research at Van Andel Institute in downtown GR. Learn more at vai.org.
Fish on! The Ultimate Sports Show Grand Rapids is back March 9 through 12.
Over 4 football fields of fishing tackle, fishing boats, fishing trips, and hunting gear, all inside the Voss Place.
Shop 2 acres of the newest tackle from Michigan dealers who know Michigan waters and game fish.
With traveling specialty baits only available here once a year.
Book the trip of a lifetime at lodges, fly-ins, charters, and resorts.
Meet the guides and lodge owners at the show.
It's a fishing boat supermarket.
Get the best boat prices of the year from dealers who specialize in rigging them right.
Free fishing and hunting seminars from the pros and guides on 5 stages.
See Lake Ultimate with bass boats floating right on the lake.
Plus rock climb and trout pond for the kids, hog trough, and more.
And the lumberjacks are back. See them climbing, chopping, and log rolling on Lake Ultimate.
It's all at the Ultimate Sports Show this Thursday through Sunday at DeVos Place. Thursday only, bring in a bag of 6 or more grocery items for Sportsmen Against Hunger. Get free admission to the show. Go to ultimatesportshow.com.
You're listening to The Huge Show on the Michigan Sports Network.
We are back on stage, off air, but you may be hearing this on a huge replay as we're inside the Collaborative Lab in Comstock Park, which is a phenomenal place for any business when it comes to big, small video productions, commercials, team meetings, whatever it is. Just Google the Collaborative Lab. Check them out. Also follow them on Facebook and Twitter. And what we're doing with this 4th anniversary on the Michigan Sports Network, paying tribute to our longtime partners and our new partners. And Mark Augustin is with Mercantile Bank, Chief Lending Officer, and Mercantile began a partnership with us to start this month. Yeah. So it's awesome to have you guys aboard with all your statewide locations. It was a perfect fit with the Michigan Sports Network and the huge show.
Absolutely. Congrats on the anniversary.
Yeah, four years with Marty Boer and the Michigan Sports Network. And congrats on Mercantile Bank and your growth. You guys have just really, based in Grand Rapids, right off of 131 and Leonard in downtown GR for our listeners on 96.1 The Game. But your growth now has really branched out, and you're pretty much every place the huge show is heard on our network.
That's why we're just following you. Just kidding.
Right? Just go. They see Marty gets a new affiliate. Hey, we got a new Mercantile Bank location.
There you go.
Right?
No, we've been incredibly blessed to really have grown a lot over the last 25 years and now pretty much canvass the entire state.
You know, and the thing that I like from our early conversations with yourself, Ray, your team, that you're connected to your communities where you're at. You're at community events, causes, people in need. It's really the theme of Mercantile Bank.
It is, and I just heard this morning someone said, "I help you because it helps me," and that's really not what we do. We help you because that's what the right thing to do, and so we've done that within our communities, within our customer base. We're really a relationship-based bank, and that's been received well over the last 25 years and allowed us to go from the smallest bank in the country to the biggest bank headquartered in Michigan. So it's been a thrill to be part of.
Biggest bank headquartered in Michigan. Mercantile Bank and the huge show, proud of that sponsorship, partnership, and also they're, with Mark, and again, West Michigan has 1 million people, but everybody knows everybody. You put on a special event every summer to help kids. Explain that.
Our youngest son is adopted from Haiti, and he's loves sports, and we ended up starting 8 years ago now, having a wiffle ball tournament in our backyard that grew from some neighborhood kids to now we cap it at 200 kids, and it's full usually within about 24 hours.
Huge wiffle ball tournament, right?
Huge wiffle ball tournament. It takes 2 days. It's kind of like us macro wiffle ball, but we're through that. We raise money to send back down to Haiti, and this year we'll exceed over 100 grand in our tournaments to date. So really partner with some less fortunate people down in Haiti, and allows the kids to give back that are playing in that tournament. And we've been blessed to have some phenomenal sponsors as part of that, too.
Well, you can count the huge show, and Marty Boer and the Michigan Sports Network will be there at your wiffle ball tournament this summer. I know you're setting dates and everything.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of
I'll
fun.
be out there broadcasting statewide, letting everybody know what's going on. I just want to thank Mercantile Bank for stepping up in our annual partnership. Thank you so much, Mark, for your help. And give Ray and the team my best at Mercantile Bank.
We'll do it. Thanks for having us.
And anybody listening across the state, they have locations everywhere. Just Google Mercantile Bank. Thank you, Mark.
Yep. Thank you.
Mark Augustin from Mercantile Bank joining us here on the huge radio network. Well, thanks, Mark. Yep. Appreciate it. How much time? All right. Yeah, we'll go right to Kathy. Come in. Kathy, how you doing?
Good. How are you? That
we got about
stage looks beautiful.
Doesn't it? This play. Have you been to the Collaborative Lab? Have you been here?
You've never invited me till today.
We did.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
It's a great place. You're gonna need to send your team and your media team check this out. This is awesome. It is really. They're making me. If you can make me look good, Kathy, just think what they can do for Meyer.
Hey, Drew.
Kathy, how's it going? Hanging out down
Good.
Florida, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's nice.
Yeah.
We won't mention that. We're just gonna talk to you.
Good. Please don't.
I won't. Okay, here we go. We are back live across Michigan. We're inside the Collab Lab in Comstock Park on the northwest side of GR. What an unbelievable video presentation. If you're watching on the Michigan Sports Network YouTube channel, You can check it out. All pros here. Hannah, the director, Andy, Brad, everybody. We have good friends here. We just talked to Mark Augustin from Mercantile Bank. I see all our partners and just so many different people who are here. I want to go through them all. I'm going to try and talk to all of them on air here. It's really special. So thank you, Marty Boer, Michigan Sports Network, Jeff Morton, your help. I want to welcome in Kathy Cooper. Drew Neitzel is with me this hour talking March Madness, but also golf is in the air. Father's Day weekend, one of the best stops on the LPGA Tour, returns to Blythefield Country Club, and Kathy's the executive director, also works with Meyer in their community partnerships. How you doing, Kath?
I'm doing great. Happy anniversary.
Yeah, thank you. Always appreciate your support and partnership and preparation. Where are we at right now? Because we're flipped the calendar to March. Before you know it, it will be Father's Day weekend for the Meyer LPGA Classic for Simply Give. So where are things at right now?
You know what? Excuse the pun, but we're in full swing. 100%. Our tournament sponsors are coming in really strong. We look very much on track, a little bit ahead in some places, but now your job is to get us good weather.
Yeah, and what are going to be the changes? Because every year, the thing I've always loved about our partnership with the Meyer LPGA Classic for Simply Give, first, you help local food pantries across Michigan, but you always add something new for the fans. There's always something different about the tournament for the fans. And what will be different this year at the Blythefield Country Club for the Meyer LPGA Classic?
Well, while I'm not prepared to give you the full preview, I will tell you there's a new piece that we're adding on to Jay Brewers and some other things as well. But most of all, I want to tell you that, Simply Give is at our forefront, and everything we can do to get Simply Give to the $1.2 million level we were able to get it to last year. That's really our focus right now. So you will see a lot of awareness of Simply Give. You'll see a lot of food. You will see a brand new Pro-Am on Monday that we didn't have before. And by the way, this is an official invitation to both you and Drew to play in our Pro-Am that week.
Wow. Oh man. Didn't I tell
Thanks
you,
for the invite,
didn't I
Billy?
say if you
Thanks for
sat
the
here,
invite.
he wanted to go grab a soft drink, and I said, you sit here and you're playing in a Pro-Am. He goes, really, Bill? You can make dreams happen? I said, no, Kathy can. There you go. Yeah. So you're going to have 3 Pro-Ams now?
We are. We will have one on Monday, one on Tuesday, actually 2 on Monday, but and then the official on Wednesday. So we'll be in touch with both of you to play. We'd love to have you. I know, Bill, you're with us every year. We want you to know we want you back. Drew, you've been with us as well. We want you to come join us again this year.
Oh, sounds good. Sounds good.
Christmas in March.
I'm in.
Me and Drew may hug right
honored.
here for a second on soundstage one at the Collab
I have
Lab.
to see this.
Yeah, I mean, we're excited. The thing that the Meyer LPGA Classic for Simply Give has done is that it's been recognized as one of the great stops on the LPGA Tour, but I step back and say it's one of the great sports/community events in Michigan, and I know that has to make you, your team, and everybody at Meyer proud.
Gosh, so proud. When we started this is actually our 9th tournament.
Wow.
And I know, that's what I said too. And I look back and I'm thinking, how did time fly? And did we ever dream we could do such great work for the community? It's just been amazing. But as well as anybody that in Western Michigan, it is all about the community and how they rally around to support you and Meyer and all of that when you do things in the community. We live in an unprecedented place, and there's so much appreciation that goes out to everyone that helps us, joins us, sponsors us, plays with us, and ultimately helps us give that over $1 million to Simply Give every year.
Yeah, and for Meyer, away from the Meyer LPGA Classic for Simply Give, and those donations that are usually over $1 million after every tournament, that program's going on in all your Meyer locations, and the number continues to grow into the millions.
Oh my gosh, yes. From the tournament alone, $8.65 million just from the tournament. But we're well over 70 million total since the inception of the program, and it just keeps growing. So we had stores, we had communities, we had events, and speaking of that, to celebrate your 25th anniversary, we would like to donate $2,500 to Simply Give on your behalf.
Wow, that's awesome, man. Thank you, Kathy. You got a big heart.
You're welcome.
That is
You're
fantastic.
welcome.
You know what?
Fire has
And
a
I'll
big
turn
heart.
around beginning tomorrow, and I'll challenge my audience this week to go into their local stores and buy the Simply Give cards, and we'll exceed $2,500, so I'll pay it forward, okay?
There you go. Let's call this a match.
What's going on here? We got invited, Drew, to the Pro-Am. Kathy's giving me $2,500. At first, she's going like $2,500 of Meijer gift cards. I'm like, that's groceries for 5 weeks with my kids. Here we go. No, it's more important for families in need to eat. And I'll say one thing, speaking of kids, I was down in Westfield, Indiana at the beautiful Grand Park. I saw the new Meijer location down there. Beautiful store. Fantastic there in Westfield, Indiana, just north of Indy. Wonderful store.
We're proud of that one, let me tell you. Yeah, Indy's a great town, and we're excited to have done a lot of things in the community down there as well.
Yeah, I saw the Meijer logo all over Grand Park with all the soccer tournaments going on. Kathy Cooper, Executive Director of the Meijer LPGA Classic for Simply Give. Father's Day weekend at the Blythefield Country Club in Plainfield Township, and they're building new buildings. And I think the Meijer LPGA Classic for Simply Give has spurred on growth and a redesign on the golf course and new buildings at the Blythefield Country Club. So everybody paying it forward. Kathy, thank you for the $2,500 donation in my name to Simply Give. And Drew, he's crying right now, so he can't really talk. But he did look at me and say right before we went on, "Are you in both Pro-Ams again?" And I go, "Yeah." He goes, "I'm not in any." And I go, "Well, you Drew Neitzel." So thank you for taking care of one of the great basketball names in the state of Michigan.
We love Drew.
We love you too, Kathy.
Thanks,
Kathy.
We'll talk
Great to
soon,
see you.
all right?
All right. See you later.
Yeah, Kathy Cooper, Executive Director, Meijer LPGA Classic for Simply Give. Well, you played in the Celebrity Pro-Am, which they have some big names because of Meijer's connections. I've seen, Coach McCarthy of the Cowboys. We've seen, Ruzioni from the Olympic team.
Trey Wingo is out there.
Yeah, that was always good, man.
Big names.
I love
always a great. It's a great
golf.
week, right? I mean, start to finish. Sounds like it's going to get even bigger with a Monday.
Well, the demand. I know Kathy last year told me, hey, man, these Pro-Ams, people want to be a part of it, right? So now they have 5 Pro-Ams. Wow. I don't know if there's a golf tournament I've ever heard that has 5 Pro-Ams, a pro golf tournament.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'll have to ask Matt Golden that from the Tullymore Golf Resort in Canadian Lakes, Michigan. I think Matt, I saw him earlier. I tried to say hello to the audience, but these bright lights, I didn't want to know who was there or who's not there. I didn't want to start calling out names. Maybe he's not even here, and it was an illusion. Oh, he's here. Thank you, Marty Boer, from the Michigan Sports Network. Our 4th anniversary together, which Marty told me earlier today. I don't know how in the heck I've made it this long with you. Thank you, Marty. I appreciate it. I love you. And thank God you got the better half in your life now. And I appreciate her being here. On the way, our friends from Soaring Eagle. I think I saw Tim McCullough walking around here, the funk governor. We had Herman Moore on earlier. We'll have Matt Shepard on coming up. We'll talk about the Eagle Casino and Sportsbook app, what's happening at one of the great destinations in the Midwest at Soaring Eagle in Mount Pleasant. And Drew's going to hang around. We'll get his thoughts on the high school tournament. Final conversation with him coming up as we're live here at the Collab Lab.
Live from the Collaborative Lab, it's the 4th anniversary celebration of The Huge Show on the Michigan Sports Network.
Life as a grown-up. Not what you thought it would be, right? The meetings, the stress, the boredom, and that one big question. Does any of this matter? Then you became a cop. Not what you thought it would be, right? The pride, the honor, the love for the brothers and sisters who serve with you. The family who reminds you how much you matter. Being a cop, not what you thought, right? Just what you needed, I guess. Visit MichiganPoliceChiefs.org.
Huge here for my good friend Tom Rosenbach. Now, he's a managing partner at Bean Garter. They are one of America's top accounting and business firms, and they're stronger than ever before with their new partnership with Dorn Mayhew from the east side of Michigan. If you're a small business, big business, and you're looking for the professionals who can help your business on any tax or business need you have. Go to beangarter.com. That is BEENEGARTER.com. And we're close to March Madness, so be looking for our huge bracket challenge where you could win big cash, courtesy of Tom Rosenbach and his team from Bean Garter. We'll have more details in the coming weeks. But if you're a business decision maker or owner and you're looking for professionals to help your business, contact Tom Rosenbach and his team at Bean Garter. EENEGARTER.com.
We played for the thrill, that rush you feel with the game on the line. I'm Herman Moore, Lions All-Pro wide receiver. Now, with Eagle Casino and Sports, the new sportsbook app from Soaring Eagle, anywhere I'm at, I'm still in the game.
Sign up now and get up to $1,000. That's right, up to $1,000 for a risk-free bet on your next favorite underdog, parlay, or prop.
Eagle Casino and Sports. Made in Michigan, made for Michigan.
Must be 21 or older and in Michigan to play.
Roast Umber is a farm-direct coffee sourced from Central American farmers and roasted in Grand Rapids. And also the Nitro Cold Brew Coffee is a convenient and healthy option for energy with no sugar additives. Look for it at your local retailer or at roastumber.com.
The Winery Dogs, live in concert Monday, March 13th at 7:30 p.m. live on stage at DeVos Performance Hall. Back in full force, don't miss the vibrant powerhouse trio, the Winery Dogs, with their fresh hooks, gut bucket grooves, and bold harmonies. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. March 13th at DeVos Performance Hall. For tour info, check out thewinerydogs.com.
You're listening to The Huge Show on the Michigan Sports Network.
Back on stage here at our 4th anniversary celebration, 4 years on the Michigan Sports Network. I appreciate our partners and old friends and new friends showing up today. More with Drew Neitzel in a moment. Mike Gusweiler is with the West Michigan Sports Commission. And when you talk about the growth of Grand Rapids, and really from the time I started in September of 2001 on then AM 1340, Mike and business leaders all got together and really put Grand Rapids on the map, and they're thinking of new ways and new events and everything each and every year. I want to welcome Mike here, and also Mike and the West Michigan Sports Commission, Experience GR, and our friends from Vanandel Arena, DeVos Performance on DeVos Place, began an annual journey with us last summer to help let Michigan know about how great West Michigan is. And Mike, welcome to our celebration.
Yeah, thanks, Bill, and congratulations on the anniversary and all that you have done for the state and sports in this region. It's amazing.
Well, you've done a lot, and your team. Let's talk about, we know where everything's at right now. What's that next level for sports and events in West Michigan?
Well, I think we all know what that next level is. We're coming up to it. It's March Madness, and we've been on it a couple of times. It's great to have Drew here. He certainly can be a voice to help us get there as well, but the bid portal's opening up with NCAA. We're a D2, D3 town. We've got great schools there, but D1 and March Madness and bringing the tournament to this region, to Grand Rapids, is on the bucket list. And we're going to make a hard push to get that. It's a cycle for 27, 28, 29, or 30, and we are going to bring it home.
Is Vanandel Arena big enough? Because the NCAA really sets the bar parameters to host an NCAA regional. Do we need a bigger arena in Grand Rapids, or is Vanandel Arena big enough?
When we first bid on it, the threshold was 12,000 seats. They dropped that a couple cycles after that to 10,000 seats. So we certainly fit within that 10,000 seat cycle. Part of the challenge we've run into, and we've seen some capital improvements at Vanandel Arena in the locker rooms, is that it's not specifically a basketball facility like a lot of these others are, where you see some of these regionals and first, second rounds being played. But now with the gold down there, we're seeing more basketball operations happening. I think that only helps. So I feel good about our downtown campus and that facility, seeing us get some of those first, second rounds.
And what about if it goes beyond D1? I mean, I know at one time the Big Ten women's tournament was in Grand Rapids, correct? Maybe women's regional, maybe a D2, championship semifinal, D3, something along those lines.
Yeah, That's what we're all about. You know, it's really going after with our partners in NAIA or NCAA at the D3, D2 level, trying to bring some of those regionals and championships into our community, as well as then, you know, the high school level and even up to the adult amateur through the United States Olympic and Paralympic committees. A lot of opportunities. We've had great success over 15 years. We look to have more.
The soccer stadium, is that a reality? When can we expect it? I'm hearing on the west side of GR near 131, and a professional soccer team coming soon to West Michigan, downtown GR.
Yeah, there's a strong push behind it. I'm on the design build committee where, you know, we're involved in kind of talking about the, you know, all the aspects around it, but additionally, you know, what else can we bring into a facility like that? Because you don't build a, you know, a facility that size just for one tenant. And so we're looking at other opportunities, but you know, there's strong interest around bringing a professional soccer team in. I think a women's soccer team as well would be a good add. And so, you know, it's only going to add to our landscape and, you know, the business environment. So,
all right. Well, yeah, Mike Gusweiler, West Michigan Sports Commission. Keep up the great work. Thanks for stopping by the huge shows. A celebration here, 4 years with Marty Boer and the Michigan Sports Network. So thank you so much. Keep me posted, okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Mike Gusweiler joining us here on the huge show across Michigan. Welcome back to our 4th anniversary celebration here inside the Collaborative Lab, and we're inside Studio B. Andy from the Collab Lab will join me in a moment. Want to thank everybody across the huge network for listening today. Hannah, our director, the entire team. Marty Boer from the Michigan Sports Network as we celebrate 4 years together, which the word celebrate may be different to those connected. Jeff Morton for his hard work. Behind the scenes, Brett Hayes, our producer, Superfly. That interview with Brett to end the show, a thank you video piece. Those of you who have never seen Superfly will be coming up at the end of the broadcast. But right now, let's talk about the Collaborative Lab, the Collab Lab, Studio B, which is used for Zooms and Microsoft Team meetings and voiceovers and podcast. You guys have everything here, Andy.
Thanks, brother. Thank you for being here. This is awesome. It's cool to see you do your thing in this environment and give a chance to people to see the huge show. And it's been fun, so thank you.
Yeah, the environment. Let's talk about it. We've been on Soundstage 1 in the main theater area, we can call it. You work with private businesses, you work with bands, you work with corporations, charities, individuals. Let's talk about the Collaborative Lab and what you offer.
Sure. So this all was inspired during the pandemic when the world shut down and you couldn't have live events anymore. The expertise, the skill set, the engineers really are the ones that make this all work. And they got together and created a live streaming studio to be able to still connect with people. And it grew from that into where we are now. So the main stage, Studio B, we wanted to offer top-level production value for clients, organizations, bands, anywhere where we can, again, at the end of the day, it's the highest quality production that you can get.
Yeah, so this is Studio B. People have seen earlier, if you've watched on YouTube or you're seeing this on a replay, you've seen the main sound stage, video stage, whatever you want to call it. I've called it Sound Stage 1 during this broadcast. You can accommodate a big group.
Yeah,
it could be a small business. It can be a band. It can be a music video. It can be filming a concert. There's so many options here.
Yeah, we've done it all. We've had private events. We've had corporate events. We've had live music events. We can seat 200 people in there. We can probably, if there weren't any seats, we can probably add a few more. But our sweet spot right now is about 100. And we can really create an extremely unique experience for both people live in the studio as well as people that are watching or seeing it recorded.
And we're across Michigan on the Michigan Sports Network and the huge show heard on 19 radio stations statewide. This is for businesses not only in the West Michigan area, but in Michigan and even beyond our borders, Midwest and national companies.
Absolutely, man. The world has gotten a lot flatter in the last few years, so we can have, virtual opens up the opportunity, and we just provide the environment for people to access the world.
Flat Earth? Are you Kyrie Irving? Are you Kyrie Irving? He's with the Dallas Mavs now. Second person ever. You heard it here on the Huge Show. You've seen it here on the Huge Show. Studio B, we are not on Earth right now. We are on another planet. And what other statewide radio show can bring you the video? And also, we were in a human transporter right through this. And we're on another planet.
We can make the world flat.
You know what? When Andy told me, Bill, one thing you can mention to the audience, we can bring the Collab Lab to you.
Yeah.
I didn't know that meant to another galaxy.
Dude, we are bound by nothing. Virtual reality has extended us to the universe and beyond.
Well, it's one thing. There's a couple of things that I've seen post-pandemic. The game of golf exploded because it was the first sport people could play when the pandemic hit us.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're here in Studio B, you can call it a Zoom room, whatever, Microsoft Teams, everything you have out there, closed circuit. It was the right time and the right move for you and your partners with the Collaborative Lab here in Comstock Park, just on the northwest side of GR. And I see the businesses who have connected to you. Marty Boer and Jeff Morton, and Marty from the Michigan Sports Network, when they told me about it, I'm like, yeah, I've seen video production facilities. I worked in Chicago. I've done a national show. I've seen it all. And this is unique because it really is on the cutting edge of all the technology you need for a sports radio show, for a business, big or small, Fortune 500 company, or even you're a band, or you want to connect to people anywhere in the world. And again, there's no guarantee beyond the universe, but we're working on that. So that's what the Collaborative Lab, really the name says it all. It's pretty simple.
100%. And Bill, it's been so cool watching you listening over 32 years and now 4 years with Michigan Sports Network. The technology is great, but that's not what makes this place work. It's the relationships. And I've watched you with these interviews that you've done and the people that you've connected to, you nurture those relationships. What really makes the Collaborative Lab work is literally 30 years of relationships in live production with the best people.
Amen.
Both technically and personally that make this whole thing run. And I'm privileged that I had to be at the right place at the right time to connect with them. And now we get to do this, and we get to create that for other people and watch them take their ideas or take their message and like I said, bring the highest level of production possible.
I'll tell you, Hannah, the production team, they're fantastic. I know they have 2 timers. They have a timer for this interview and another timer when Bill leaves the lab. So there's 2. And I talk to everybody, I thank them, but they are top shelf. They're pros.
Yeah.
And anybody listening, watching this, your business, your band, your company, your mission, you're a startup. You heard Mark Ewell from the Michigan High School Athletic Association talk about it last hour. Amazing place. The collaborativlab.com would be
the collaborativlab.com. Best way to.
I know. I got to watch that. I'm kind of slurring it. People are like, "Are they serving up Bud Light during this interview? What's going on?" He was just slurring. He can't slur when he's talking to Andy, one of the partners. Andy, man, thank you for an unbelievable
Thank you, Bill.
day. Marty Boer from the Michigan Sports Network said it would be one of the big days in our show's history, and it really is.
Thanks.
Our good friend Andy from the collaborativlab.com. Go there, check it out for yourself. Earlier, I had a chance to talk with a longtime friend of the Huge Show, Mr. Tom Rosenbach from Bean Garner. Tommy, good to have you. I love the Zoom set down there in Florida where you're on a tax trip helping Bean Garner, now partners with Dorn Mayhew, grow. Welcome to our 4th anniversary on the Michigan Sports Network show.
4 years already. I'm glad to be here. And actually, as part of our arrangement with Dorn Mayhew, we do have a Florida office. So they put me in a closet down here, but I am working.
That's nice. I was a little concerned when I first saw the backdrop, but I know Tom Rosenbach. He's a good man. We've been partners for over 15 years. Give me some background on why you connected to my show and what it's done for Bean Garner, now part of Dorn Mayhew, stronger than ever before.
That's a great question. I remember when we started, and we started with the basketball tournament and gravitated towards the NFL. But when we started a little over 17 years ago, we we were a small firm, and we grew over that time with your help to, well, probably grew 3 to 4 times our size over that period of time. So, and we were looking to distinguish ourselves, from our competition, distinguish ourselves maybe a little bit from the traditional view of accounting firms, right? And we were trying to set ourselves apart. So, traditional advertising and going into those type of methods are, they're fine, but everybody does them. So we were looking to set ourselves apart a little bit. And when this opportunity came up to meet you and to go onto the show, we kind of jumped at it, and didn't know where it would lead, didn't know where it would go, but I knew that it was going to be different, right? And I knew that there was something different here that was going to distinguish ourselves from everybody else.
Yeah, it's been an unbelievable partnership on and off air, and we do the football picks with Bean Garter, and we gave away $1,500 last fall. And you mentioned we began our partnership with the Bracket Buster Challenge, and that will be coming up and go live on Monday with all the Huge Show listeners at thehugeshow.net, and we'll have some cash up for grabs. So before I let you go, your March Madness picks, Michigan State. We'll wait and see if Michigan gets in, but what about Izzo and the Spartans? How far do you think they'll go?
Oh boy, they're playing well right now. The offense is doing well right now. So I think they make the Sweet 16. Whether they can get to the final 8, the Elite 8, I'm not sure about that. Probably depends upon who they play. But I think a Sweet 16.
Sweet 16. Tom, man, personally, knowing you on and off air, the Rosenbach family, Bean Garter, your team, and now your growth with Dorn Mayhew from the east side of Michigan. Bean Garter is based just down the road from the Collaborative Lab in downtown GR. Congrats on all your success, man. I look forward to talking during the tournament, and enjoy your business trip to Florida.
Well, I'm working hard, but this does give me the chance to thank you for what you've done for us. I felt like we've always gotten more, more than we've maybe paid for. Maybe I shouldn't tell you that. And I think if there's anybody out there who's thinking of working with you or working with Marty, I would highly encourage you to do it, because it does make a difference. And it is a great value. It is. Thank you. Thank you for what you've done for us.
Yeah, Tom, and I'll tell you what, for doing this interview from the Collaborative Lab, the way you just read that note I sent you to close out the interview, it was special. Thank you, Tommy, man. My best to you, and we'll talk next week and look ahead to the Bracket Buster contest, okay?
All right, Bill. Thank you so much for what you've done. Thank you.
All right, Tom Rosenbach from Bean Garter, now part of Dorn Mayhew, stronger than ever before, and a longtime partner on the Huge Show. Take care, my man.
All right, you too.
We are back live on Stage 1 here at the Collab Lab in Comstock Park, and Johnny Brands Sr. from Johnny Brands in Granville, just west of GR, and Johnny Brands on Leonard is joining me. He'll be sitting on stage over the next few minutes. Drew Knights will return for one final segment after the top of the hour, Tom Izzo interview, but Johnny, Sandy Brand here, longtime friends on and off air. Thanks for stopping out, my man.
Well, happy to do it, Huge.
Yeah, and now you have the redesign at Johnny Brands on Leonard is fantastic. I was there for Michigan's Final Four game in Michigan-Ohio State. You guys put nearly $1 million into the redesign at Johnny Brands on Leonard. It looks awesome.
Thank you. It took a long time with the pandemic. We had to stop, start, but we're in action now, so come see it.
Yeah, and you got the $6.99 burger for lunch. Happening, what, 11 till 3, right?
Yep.
Did I say that right? Not 11 till 2?
I don't know, but close. Something like that. Wait, it's Monday through...
Oh, good. We'll get Johnny working on numbers. Show ends at 6. Let's just remember that.
This guy here.
6 night. Well, are you getting mad at me now?
No, I'm not getting mad.
Yeah, we're in front. We're live on air, and we're in front of people.
I only get mad at you on the golf course.
Okay. Well, you can get mad. We can get mad at Tully more. I see
Drive
Matt
right
Golden.
to your golf ball. I'm about 30 yards behind you. It's like,
okay.
Huge,
Right.
turn around.
Okay,
I'm just kidding, Huge.
Well, let's not drift off the
I
conversation.
know. We're
all right?
way off it now.
All right.
These are the brightest
Johnny's
lights I've ever
drifted.
seen. I don't know what's going on.
I'm going to go grab a sandwich, come back. Johnny will just be finishing.
I feel like it's an interrogation room. What is going on here?
I can't see you. The lights are too bright. All right. Big man, stick around. I want to talk to you a little bit about your commitment to our law enforcement, our military, our friends of the Michigan Association of Chiefs of Police are here. Johnny Brands Sr., Johnny Brands in Granville, and also you can find Johnny Brands on Leonard in downtown GR.
So now I get up.
back on stage here
we're on?
with Johnny Brand Sr. Yeah, we're on, Johnny.
Oh, we are? Okay.
Okay, so
Still
don't talk
drink.
about your wife.
Still looking for my drink.
Yeah, don't talk about your wife
Okay.
while we're on stage.
Oh, gosh.
Here at our fourth anniversary celebration. Sandy Brand in the audience. Johnny Brand Sr. You know, I'm looking at Chief Ed Viverette, and I don't know, Johnny, if he's ever met you or you've met him, but
Tell you what, I can't see you.
he is a chief of police. He's part of the Association of Chiefs of Police in Michigan, which Tim Wheeler, our friend, we have our True Blue segment every Wednesday where I remind people to follow Voice for the Badge on Facebook and Twitter. And years ago, you began a personal mission to be the voice for the badge with your Facebook and your Twitter accounts and your push for more help for our law enforcement, more respect. Tell me about Voice for the Badge.
Well, that's exactly it. Our mission statement is unwavering support for law enforcement in all ways possible. We always want to work with the inner city, improve relations. Frankly, I get tired of it. I mean,
What do you mean you get tired of what?
I get tired of the police not getting the respect they deserve. Everybody knows the saying, they go every day and risk their lives. Their families are home worrying about them. And in this day and age, it's terrible. It's just awful. I'll give you an example of how one of the reasons why I love the police is when that tragedy happened in Michigan State, my granddaughter was there. And I called her up, and she said, "Bampa, can I call you back? I heard sirens." And she was going through it right then. She was in a corner, huddled up. They had to barricade their doors. But when I felt totally comfortable, I was so scared for her, I felt totally comfortable when I knew the police presence was there. I mean, doesn't it say something about our police?
Amen.
I mean, my granddaughter was just so frantic, and my wife was out of control, was worried. But when I knew they were there, my worries of her safety were gone.
Yeah, and that, you know, those great men and women who protect and serve are going in when people are going the other way, Johnny. And that's why I tell everybody who hears this, Voice for the Badge on Facebook, Voice for the Badge on Twitter. It's a small way of saying you support the men and women who put their lives on the line every day. And if you haven't been to Johnny Brand's on Leonard, downtown GR, I talked about the $1 million redesign, but the most important thing that I love is his wall of tribute to men and women who've been killed or injured in combat, who he's connected to, military, law enforcement. That's special what you do on the walls now at Leonard.
Yeah, we love to honor the fallen. Too many of them. But in Grand Rapids, of course, we had Robert Kosminski 12, 14 years ago. It was just terrible. I know the folks, I mean, what they go through. But I always tell them, your son died a hero. And he did. Because I tell you what, the way our police get treated now, look at Atlanta right now. It's disgusting. They don't want the police training, whatever it is, going to build something. They don't want them there, so they're rioting. I'm not talking about anything to do with who's doing it. It's not racial one bit. But come on. I mean, that's the way our law enforcement gets treated. Let's take them all off the streets and just have a couple days without them.
No, we need them. We need them,
See what
Johnny.
happens.
And I believe, Johnny, you and I, in our support, privately and publicly, of law enforcement, we're with 99% of America who feels that way.
They got to speak out.
I mean, we understand. You know, I'm coming doing this great video production. I don't put my life on the line. I don't know if I could every day, but I know men and women like Chief Ed Viverette, North Muskegon, his life in law enforcement, his son's life in law enforcement, all the chiefs I've met from the Michigan Association of Chiefs of Police who have given 20, 30, 40 years of their life to protecting and serving. The least we can do is show respect.
Yes.
And like I do for Chief Ed, even though he gets a little psycho on the Lions, I do love him. Thank you, Chief Ed. And Johnny, your support is amazing because it's real, it's from the heart, it's you, it's Sandy, it's the Brand family.
I have a passion.
You do?
For our police and military. I have a passion, and I look at it this way. Our military keeps us free. Our police keep us safe in our country. Okay, well, maybe we need more police. I don't know what they figure, how they're going to solve crime, if they got some miracle way, but to me, you got to have enough law enforcement to protect you. They protect you. I mean, protect you and you and you every day.
Johnny.
Well, I know we're
almost out of time. I know
Are we
we'll
really?
have, yeah. Oh, well.
How do you figure that?
Well, because we have a live show to do.
Well,
well, Johnny, everyone was listening. I could hear the room. So thank you so much.
I know you.
Right? I don't mean to throw you off stage, but I am.
Oh, you are. Thanks, Huge.
I love you, Johnny Brand.
Love you.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you. I gotta
your commitment to law enforcement. 1 second, buddy. You got it. All right. 1 second.
I was walking so good.
Well, Johnny, I got to go over here. I'm not leaving you hanging, but she's got your cane right there. Are you on that? I'm not on the air yet. We're gonna do a quick segment. I'm gonna throw it to you. Zone. You can be done. Yep.
The following is a presentation of the Michigan Sports Network.
Live from the Collaborative Lab in Comstock Park, Michigan, it's the 4th anniversary celebration of the Huge Show on the Michigan Sports Network. Today's statewide broadcast is being brought to you by the Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort, Eagle Sportsbook and Casino app, Budweiser and Fabiano's Distributing, Meyer and the 2023 Meyer LPGA Classic for Simply Give, Mercantile Bank, the Michigan Association of Chiefs of Police, Bean Carter, the Michigan High School Athletic Association, Tully Moore Golf Resort, Roast Umber Coffee, Van Andel Arena, DeVos Performance Hall, and DeVos Place in Grand Rapids, the Grand Rapids Gold, Van Andel Institute, Brand's Steakhouse and Grills, the Grand Rapids Griffins, Mr. Car Wash, the LPGA's Dow Great Lakes Bay Invitational, Showspan, and this weekend's Ultimate Sports Show in downtown Grand Rapids, Berlin Raceway, and special thanks to Marty Boer and the Michigan Sports Network, all of our statewide radio affiliates, Huge Show executive producer Brett Hayes, and you, the loyal listeners. Now, let's go live to Soundstage 1 inside the Collaborative Lab in Comstock Park with the huge one, Bill Simonson.
Thank you, Eric Zane. Final hour, our 4th anniversary celebration. Great turnout, man. I'm seeing people from Soaring Eagle, Johnny Brand, Sandy Brand, Matt Golden, Scott Dielman, one of the great golfers, good friend with Brian Kelly, was just telling me stories about golfing down in the Bayou with the new LSU coach, actually be his 2nd year. I see Tim Wheeler, Mike Prindle, O&O advertised, and so many good people. Tanya, the Fun Governor Tim McCullough will join us later. Jeff Morton, just a good crowd, great day. I got Drew Knights, one final quick segment with him. Want to get his prediction on Michigan State in the Big Ten tournament and also the NCAA tournament. Izzo interview coming up in just a few minutes. Phenomenal 18 minutes with Tom. You know, Johnny talked about the MSU tragedy. Tom talks about it, and it's pretty powerful. So on the lighter side, Michigan State, Drew, how far will they go in the Big Ten tournament, NCAA tournament?
I mean, I think they're going to have a rematch with Iowa, right? I'm really looking forward to that one. Hopefully get into Saturday, and you never
be the semifinals.
Semifinals, yep. And never know what can happen, right? And Michigan State always seems to peak at the right time. I saw ever since the Big Ten tournament started, I think Michigan State has the most Big Ten tournament championships. So, you know, if history's on our side, we could hang another banner this weekend.
Sweet 16 in the NCAA tournament?
I think so. Sweet 16. It all happens. It depends on matchups, right? If a couple better teams get knocked out early, it can open your path to get to an Elite Eight, Final Four. But you have to earn it, right? Nobody kind of limps into the Final Four. So the guys will be ready and excited to, carry on the tradition.
Thank you, my man.
Anytime.
Drew Knights, legend from Wyoming Park High School, the Wyoming Park at Michigan State University. And he played for our next guest, Tom Izzo. Earlier, I had a chance to talk basketball and life with the man who runs the Spartan basketball program. Tom, let's talk about the first time you and I had a conversation. I remember it. Do you remember it?
Hell no, I try not to remember things that are hard on me. So tell me when it was, Bill.
I think you called me somehow, probably Peter Secchia gave you my home number. This is over 20 years ago, and I'm nearing my 32nd anniversary doing a sports radio show across America, 4th anniversary with Marty Boer and the Michigan Sports Network. And I had said something about Marcus Taylor, one of your former players, and you called me at home and you ripped me a new one. And I'm like, who is it? I never talked to you on air. I'm like, who does this guy think he is? And then we had a back and forth. You showed your leadership, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And I thought, you know what, I really like this Izzo guy. And that was the start of a long relationship now that's lasted over 20 years.
You know what's funny about that? I do remember that. I do remember we had a meeting up here once, you know. And I think why we've become good friends is we have similar personalities. We really do. I don't know if that's a compliment or an insult, but we really do. And I think what you liked about me is what I liked about you, is I did call you up. I didn't go on air and say something. I didn't do that. I called you up. I told you what I thought, you know, and which you've done with me early. And then we found out that, fortunately or unfortunately, a lot of things we think pretty similar on, you know, even though we're both crazy in our own ways, the meat and potatoes of things are pretty basic. As they say in the sport you used to play, in football, you got to block and tackle. In basketball, you got to defend and rebound. You know, everybody comes up with all these tricky things. Life's pretty basic if you get right down to it.
You know, Tom, the one thing I've always admired about you, on the court, off the court, with your family, with your friends, when things hit the fan, your leadership. And I want to go back to one of the few times you've ever written a speech, just a few weeks ago after the tragic shootings at Michigan State. And I get goosebumps and almost tears in my eye thinking about that speech, and I listened to it 10 times, and your leadership. And it was not a moment for you, it was a moment for everybody connected to Michigan State, but it showed who you are. So when you put that speech together, because normally you're a guy, you go off the cuff like I do, you say what you feel, but you felt the need to write that speech that night. Why, and how'd you come to those words?
Well, other experiences helped me on the why. You know, we've been through a lot here, as you know, and, you know, I look back, the different tragedies we've had, whether it's the shooting, whether it was the Nasser situation, the COVID situation, you know, all these tragedies that have happened. I learned, you know, you speak off the cuff, and there's so many people that take things so many different ways. So I think the hardest thing that night is, you know, you want to give your students a Newt Rockne speech like your players and say, we've got to overcome this. You know, I didn't bring it up there, but I thought about, I saw, Bill, the first game after 9/11 in the NFL. Mariucci's 49ers played the New York Giants, and I flew to New York with Peter. And we were on the field, and it was the Thursday night, only game on, and it taught me that sports can be part of the healing. You know, the police officers were there, the fire department. It was the most pro sports, players from different, it was most unbelievable happening. And then I was going to go with that rah-rah part. And I said, now the parent part of it, what if that was my son or daughter? And so I got caught in the middle, you know, and I said, I better really think about what I want to say so I don't offend somebody, so I can be genuine. And it was difficult, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you know, because you are a father. Your son, Stephen, is on your team. He was in the vicinity of the shootings, and I know you, that you thought about it. I texted you that night and asked you if the family was okay. You said, yes, we are. But then you kept that story private because you didn't want to exploit anything, and it wasn't about you, it was about the victims. But, you know, life is about timing, and you as a dad thinking how close Stephen could have been to being one of those victims.
Well, you know, it's true, and I didn't want to make it about him. He was going, excuse me, to pick up his girlfriend in the Union, and he went over there at about 20 after 8, right about when it was happening, and the police officers ran him out of there. I mean, they took his car, told him to drive on the sidewalk, get out, and get to somewhere on campus, and he actually locked himself in one of the suites in our arena, and then when he called us, then, you know, he found out some of our video guys were, I had my radio show that night from 7 to 8, and I got out, and normally I might have been working earlier, but I went home and watched film there. And so he was kind of locked up with my 4 video guys in our locker room downstairs, our NBA locker room. And then his girlfriend was actually in a lot of the class was in a bathroom, and they were there till like 12:31, because even when they caught the guy, which, by the way, Bill, for all the abuse that police officers take and sometimes administrations at universities or anywhere, the job they did in those 2 hours was unfreaking believable. It was phenomenal. And so they got out of there about 1 o'clock, because they didn't know if there was another guy, was there an accomplice? So there were so many things, but boy, our people did a good job. It hits a little closer to home. My son was not involved. He was not in the room, but just being around there made you really think about it. I know you would do too, because you've got a lot of kids that we sometimes in life, we talk about, cancer is a good one, and if it doesn't happen to you, you want to be helpful, but it never hits home until something happens to one of yours or yourself, then it hits home. It was kind of a similar thing to me in that respect.
After the tragedy and the shootings on the campus at MSU, talking to your team, navigating the rest of the season, and we'll touch on March Madness in a moment to close out the interview, but what did you learn from your players? Well, what did you feel when you were talking to your team when it was raw and close to the shootings, and how your team has progressed mentally off the court?
Boy, for a guy that I don't think is as good as you are, these are a lot of great questions. Seriously, that is very, it's a deep question, because the next morning, that night, we contacted all our players. I tried to contact the families. Then the next morning, give Alan Heller credit. We had a 9 o'clock meeting, a Zoom call with a couple of psychologists, psychiatrists, different people that helped us deal with it from the standpoint of remembering this. I always say you don't treat everybody equal on a team, but you do treat them kind of equal. You've got your basics that have to be there. That gets thrown out the window because everybody handles grief and tragedy a different way. So that was very helpful. Then we weren't able to come back on campus, so I had my team over to my house around 11 o'clock in the morning just to talk to them all. I think the one thing we don't do this day and age is communicate with people. We just assume, or we think somebody else will do it. So I wanted to be face to face. I wanted to see their eyes. I wanted to see their body language. I wanted to see who was really upset and who was kind of upset. I mean, everybody was really upset about the situation, but it hit home. One of my managers went to church with one of the people, so there was different things that happened. So we had a good meeting there and didn't practice that day. Then the next day we practiced. It was awful practice. And they had canceled the Minnesota game. Now we're playing Michigan. Thursday and Friday, we had decent days, but I spent a lot of time constantly talking to them, letting them know it's okay to cry. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be a little sullen, but we do have to move forward. And that was, kind of the way I looked at it. Michigan, to be very honest with you, did an unbelievable job at their arena for us. Unbelievable. Juwan had text me and give their president, their AD, their coaches, players, fans. It got down to the Hatfields and McCoys at the end because it's supposed to. But it was very good. And, lose a tough game there and then get in that locker room and what do you say? You realize that we as coaches make every game life and death, and then you face life and death, and every game's not life and death. So that's been a process since then, to be honest with you, Bill.
Yeah, Tom, that photo before the Michigan game, when you're wearing the Spartan Strong T-shirt and you're looking down and, again, overcome with emotions, knowing what your rival is doing for you, for the students, for your team, for anybody connected to Michigan State, I could see it really warmed your heart. And I've watched the Big Ten, I've watched the NFL, college sports, NBA, across the board, everybody step up for Michigan State. And you mentioned at the start of this conversation that you talked about being on the field with the late Peter Secchia, and God rest his soul, and Mooch, your longtime friend from Iron Mountain, that sports brings us together. It's a pulpit, it's a congregation. I've seen it time and time again in my nearly 32 years of doing sports radio, that we forget politics, we forget religion, we forget color of skin, we forget who has the bigger house, the better car, and we come together through sports. And that is something that still brings goosebumps. I mentioned the tears when I think about it, to see what America did for Michigan State.
Bill, well said, very well said. And you still got to understand that those families, you know, maybe it doesn't solve all the problems, because it never will and it'll never go away. But I learned that night in 2001, that was unbelievable in New York. I mean, to the people that were there, and the Black Hawk helicopters flying over, and everything was America strong. But you are right, you know, Duke and Wake Forest and UCLA, people on their campuses lit up their different things in green. And I think because everybody understands, you know, it's like I say, Lloyd Carr. In fact, Lloyd Carr came to my locker room with his two grandsons before the game. That was touching for me. I happen to be fairly good friends with Lloyd. He went to Northern Michigan before Mooch and I, but I did a couple things with a car dealer, him and I, for cancer. And I go down to his Chad Strong golf outing all the time. And you know, what you learn when you go through those things is people need people. And that was really what I wanted to talk about the night of, you know, find someone you don't know. Everybody grieves different. Help them through it. You know, this day and age, it's like, I had a unique thing that happened this year, but one of them, you probably heard, my assistant, Mike Garland, almost died. And he passed out at the wheel, and a passerby came by and gave him CPR. And he's 99% good now, and he would have been out. He would have been done another minute. Somebody wouldn't have come by, you know. People need to help people, even this day and age when it's different. Sometimes it's mental health, sometimes it's physical health.
You know, Tom, speaking of people helping people, Mark Ewell, Executive Director of the Michigan High School Athletic Association. I think Joey Hauser from your team is doing an internship with Mark and his team there in Lansing. Told me a story on the Huge Show recently that a wrestler from Midland, I think it's Shinsky family, father is a firefighter, son and him are on their way to Heartland, Michigan to weigh in for the regionals. They're driving along 75. They see a car on fire. They pull over, and somebody had passed out in the car, and him and his son saved the life of that person, waited for emergency medical personnel to show up, got into their vehicles, made sure the person was okay, and the kid went and made weigh-in and wrestled, and Mark paid tribute to that family out of Midland, Michigan. And, you know, the good in people, I believe it's out there. And again, this is connected to sports, and you're talking with Coach Garland, who's a wonderful man. And it takes a tragedy to give us all a kick in the ass. It really does.
That's the problem. There lies the problem, you know. Like, I try to do a lot for cancer, okay? So far, you know, my family, my immediate family, and my parents have not been stricken with that terrible disease, illness. But sometimes we got to look more to preventative management than why do we always live in crisis management? You're so right. And why does it take tragedies? And then sometimes, because the world moves on, we take the tragedy and we mourn it and grieve it, and then we put it in the back burner. And, you know, sooner or later, we got to start putting that. My daughter, as it was announced on CBS, is due in July with my first grandchild. You know, do I want her having to take a little boy or girl to preschool and worry about guns and worry about those kind of tragedies? Or, you know, it's insane. And I don't know what the answer is, but I know this: doing nothing is not the answer. You know, I wish I was smart enough to have the answer, but I sure hope that we all realize that these tragedies, somebody's life. I just visited a couple of the patients. You know, there's 5 that are still in the hospital, 4 now, 1 got out. But some of them are going to be changed those people aren't going to be the same for the rest of their lives. And hopefully we do something about it, Bill, but I agree with you 100%.
You know, Tom, we'll catch up on basketball and March Madness later. I thought this conversation, fitting in there about you visiting some of the victims and just the real life that's out there off the court, on the court, and what we've all dealt with and are dealing with, man. I appreciate you joining our 4th anniversary show here on the Michigan Sports Network with the Huge Show, my partnership with Marty Boer, and here at the Collaborative Lab in Comstock Park, Michigan, on the west side of the state. Man, you take care, and we'll talk during March Madness.
Well, let me give you a little promo as I leave, because, over the years, especially early on, there were some differences. But, the couple of things I've loved about you is I think you tell it like it is, but I think you do your homework. And that's the difference to me from maybe average to good to great to elite. If you're doing your homework and you want to rip me or somebody else, or you know what? That's the way it is. That's the way it's supposed to be. And sometimes people get mad at me with a player for being brutally frank. Well, if you're shooting 50% from the free throw line, what am I going to do? Say, oh, you did a nice job, kid. By the way, don't come in and work on it. Doesn't make sense to me. I looked at you that way, and that's why we developed a friendship. And hey, you're not always going to agree with me. I'm not always going to agree with you, but congratulations on this 4th anniversary. Congratulations on the 32 years. And don't forget, next year, we still got a run in us, believe it or not. We still got a run in us. But next year, a big recruiting class coming in. Hopefully we get through all the things we're getting through, and we'll see you in that room again next year for the preseason deal we do each year.
We talked during the last All Access MSU show in October that you said I need to be there for the Izzo campout night and do the show that day.
Yeah.
Plan on that, Tom, okay?
That'd be awesome. I'm looking over at the field. Last year we had 1,350 tents, so we'll get a big tent for you. We'll have some fun.
It'll be just like Tank. It'll be like Tank and Old School. I'll be there on campus.
Go.
All right, thank you, Tom.
Appreciate you, Bill.
And that was my conversation earlier with Michigan State head coach Tom Izzo. Tim Wheeler is a partner with us with the Michigan Association of Chiefs of Police. And we'll talk to him coming up here in a few moments. Also, Cartoonversation.
You got it.
Correct?
You nailed it.
Yeah, you're doing something that's reaching out through law enforcement, schools, to help our children. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, thanks. Coach Izzo just talked about the difference between crisis mode and prevention mode. And really what this is prevention mode. We've got a series of books called Ride with Pride. And at least in Muskegon County, almost all of the cruisers carry these with them. And they are really helping kids be kids. So things like helping kids pledge to support law enforcement, reminding kids to wear a helmet, wear a seatbelt, to be kind, to get the most out of school. And it's been a real joy seeing these in the hands of the police. I don't think anybody gets it better than they do. And they will sit with the kiddos and they will watch the cartoons or read the books. And then in the back, there's what's called a Cartoonversation card. They ask them a few questions. Kids are talking, and now they're connecting. And we could talk all day on how much that matters.
All right, so that Cartoonversation, if anybody listening, any law enforcement, any schools, parents want to get a hold of it, what do they do?
Cartoonversation.com, and every link there goes right to me. And since I work with the MACP as well, they can take that route if they prefer. But yeah, we would love to talk to any officer anywhere in the state to get these into their hands. And it's important that they know too, the cartoons are online at cartoonversation.com. They're free. They're ready for you to use right now if you want to use those to interact with a kid.
All right, Tim Wheeler with the Michigan Association of Chiefs of Police. Joining us on the way, our friends from the Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort, Matt Shepard, who now is endorsing the Eagle Casino and Sportsbook app. He'll join us from training camp with the Lions, or actually not Lions, it'd be the Tigers down in Lakeland. I wish the Lions were starting the season. He'll join us, talk about the Tigers. We'll talk to our friends from Soaring Eagle. All that coming up as we celebrate 4 years with the Michigan Sports Network.
Live from the Collaborative Lab, it's the 4th anniversary celebration of The Huge Show on the Michigan Sports Network.
It's time to go on the court with Tim Stout.
It's a new day to celebrate and be free. It's a new day full of action and excitement because it's a day for winning. Only at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort, it's a new day. Visit SoaringEagleCasino.com. Michigan State basketball coach Tom Izzo loves lots of practice time for his team, and it's going to get it this week in advance of its game Friday afternoon at 2:30 in Chicago in the Big Ten tournament. The Spartans are the 4 seed, and they got a double bye. Okay, they will either play Iowa or Wisconsin or perhaps even Ohio State. Either way, they would be the favorite, and more than likely, they would get Purdue in a semifinal game coming up on Saturday. But that's down the road, and the Spartan coach says we've got to play much better on defense, and we have a very thin margin for error. Michigan State finishing up the season again with the win over the weekend to get them into the Big Ten tournament as the 4 seed with the win over Ohio State. Now they hope to keep it going.
From the biggest of big games to the littlest of the little.
There you go! Run, James! No, first base! Go, run!
Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest. From some of the biggest stadiums in the state to the familiar fields down the street. You're helping make a difference to the people and places you call home. Learn more at Meijer.com/community.
Roast Umber is a farm-direct coffee sourced from Central American farmers and roasted in Grand Rapids. And also the Nitro Cold Brew Coffee is a convenient and healthy option for energy with no sugar additives. Look for it at your local retailer or at roastumber.com.
Hey, Michigan, let's go big. I'm Herman Moore, Lions All-Pro wide receiver, and I'm talking real big-time winning on the hottest slots and table games on one incredible app. Eagle Casino and Sports.
Sign up now and get up to $1,500. That's right. We'll match your first 2 deposits for up to $1,500, plus 100 free spins.
Eagle Casino and Sports. Made in Michigan, made for Michigan.
Must be 21 or older and in Michigan to play.
Huge here for all the Mr. Car Wash locations across Michigan. You're going to want to look into that unlimited monthly pass that I use. Superfly Hayes, my producer, uses it. I can get my SUV washed as often as I like for one low price. You can sign up today. Just go to MrCarWash.com or stop by your local Mr. Car Wash location here in Michigan for the one close to you. And to get that unlimited pass, go to MrCarWash.com.
The Winery Dogs, live in concert Monday, March 13th at 7:30 p.m. live on stage at DeVos Performance Hall. Back in full force, don't miss the vibrant powerhouse trio, the Winery Dogs, with their fresh hooks, gut bucket grooves, and bold harmonies. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. March 13th at DeVos Performance Hall. For tour info, check out thewinerydogs.com.
You're listening to The Huge Show on the Michigan Sports Network.
We are back on stage here on The Huge Show across Michigan. Some of you watching the live YouTube feed right now. I have the link up at Huge Show on Twitter, The Huge Show on Facebook, if you want to check it out. Tim Wheeler is back with me. Our partnership with The Huge Show and the Michigan Association of Chiefs of Police. It's really cool, close to my heart. I know we had Johnny Brand Sr. On earlier. Let's talk about the Chiefs of Police and what their mission is right now in the state of Michigan, not only looking for new law enforcement officers, 4,000 openings right now, but upgrading the image of law enforcement in our state.
Exactly, yeah. I was brought in a few months ago to help them with retention, recruitment, and image, and that's why you have been an absolutely perfect fit. As you know, we started our Wednesday show, True and Blue, with you just a few weeks ago.
I think I've said it 9 different ways. True Blue, Blue and True, True Are You, and Blue.
And then there was True with Bill and Bill and Blue. I know I still have the list.
You sent me the name, and I'm like, what is it? I'm like, Bill's killing it. I got a great client with Tim and all the great police chiefs across Michigan, and I can't get True Blue out. What's going on there, Timmy?
You call it whatever you need to call it, Bill.
But we and when we got together before, during, and after the show at the convention for the Chiefs of Police in downtown GR about a month ago, you can see they're united about letting their officers know that they respect them and that most people in the state of Michigan respect them.
Yeah, they really, really do. But what I've found is that by and large, law enforcement simply doesn't want to blow their own horn. And I'm trying to get them to realize, guys, most of us are rooting for you. We want to hear those stories. And that's why, again, why it's a perfect fit, because you bring that out. But Bill, the stories are just countless. You know, one great story after another. And I simply want to help get them to all of Michigan so people know what we really, truly have.
And Johnny Brand Sr. mentioned the story, which was the first week of our partnership with the unfortunate tragedy of Michigan State. And, you know, I heard from the assistant chief for public safety for Michigan State University. I dropped him a note the night everything happened. If I can help you, if you want to join the show, let me know. And I think it was Sunday night, I checked my email, and he thanked me for my support. And I thought, you know what? That's law enforcement. And they were going in the other way. They saved lives that night in East Lansing. They flat out saved lives. If the police didn't respond, that could have been a horrible tragedy. But it wasn't just the Michigan State campus police. It was the surrounding Ingham County and Lansing metro area where they all were going in while people are hiding from a shooter where they didn't know where he was.
And you talked about this earlier, too, is that there were off-duty officers that simply turned their cars around and went in and went, how can I help? And there's one thing I think people need to know. I think it really speaks to who these men and women are. When, you know, our show starts right when the MSU tragedy hits, so we were scrambling, trying to get different people on the air, and we had people involved in that scene, and they were apologizing to me, saying, I'm very sorry, that please let Bill know that we just can't do this right now. I thought, I think you guys have better things to do, but there they were, taking the time to apologize, and then several of them did get on the air, and now that a lot of them are not involved in that, they're lining up to come talk with you. But I just think that speaks volumes.
Well, I really connected with Johnny Brand Sr. and Voice for the Badge, and on and off air, we both have stood there privately and publicly for the men and women of law enforcement. And that's why fate, destiny, the connection of you with Marty Boer, and we're here now even with a bigger platform, and Johnny has his Voice for the Badge, and we'll continue it with the Michigan Association of Chiefs of Police. Tim Wheeler, good man, proud to be a longtime partner there. Well, hopefully a long-time partner with the huge show. We're only a couple months in. It's been awesome. Thank you, Tim.
Thank you, Bill.
All right. In a few moments, our friends from Soaring Eagle will join us. And also my final thank you tribute video and interview with Superfly Hayes, our executive producer, coming up at the end of this hour. Our final video with Superfly Hayes. That's awesome. I got, trust me, with Tim. We are back live on the huge show across Michigan and also live on the Michigan Sports Network YouTube channel. You can check it out if you missed the entire broadcast today. The video, the production team here, Hannah, our director, and everybody at the Collaborative Lab in Comstock Park. If you're a business, small, big, company, entertainment, sports, whatever it is, music, this is the place. Marty Board told me you need to see it, Bill. I've never doubted Marty, knowing each other for over 20 years. Never doubted Jeff Morton, knowing Jeff a long time. I said, you know what, this will all work out. And it did. And it's been exceeded my expectations. It looks awesome. And also it's to have Tanya and Tim from Soaring Eagle and their team. Again, when I look at longtime partners, we had new partners I just talked to. We've been together for a long time, and I really appreciate what Herman Moore said earlier. And I know Herman is promoting the Eagle Casino and Sports app, but he talked about the Soaring Eagle family. And I agree with all of everything he said, that you guys are like family to us, man.
Much love, Herman. Much love.
Yeah, he was great.
Yes. He's a great spokesman for us.
Yeah.
You know, we've got a kind of another spokesman that's joined the team as well, which we'll mention in a few minutes.
Look at Tanya. I'm going to leave. She's taking over. What's going on? This is Tanya's like,
she's got it.
Let's
She's
get
got
off
it.
stage. Tanya's taking over.
I'm just glad in the partnership that we've had for all these years that you went gray first before I did. So thank you.
That's not great. It's adult blonde.
I like it. I like it. I'm going to use that, actually.
Yeah, we all. The early pictures are like, really? We look like that?
Yeah.
You know.
No.
What happened to that 20-pound monster that just attached itself to my stomach?
No,
But yeah, family is.
Yeah, family is very important to us. I mean, we feel like everybody is. That's what a true partnership is, right? Is having that family feel, getting the work done, putting in the work together. And I think everybody does a great job of that. Obviously, everybody over here at the Michigan Sports Network is a big part of that, and you are definitely a huge part of that.
Yeah, and Tim, again, you're the voice at all the events at Soaring Eagle. Tanya's with the marketing team with Raul and CC. Let's talk about what's going on at Soaring Eagle right now. You're continually improving everything. I did see the new sign up, and I shared that Facebook post. I got hungry thinking about that new sign.
I tell you what, I posted that, and within minutes, it just
blew up.
It blew up.
So Ruth Chris is joining the Soaring Eagle team in June of 2023. We will have an official true Ruth Chris Steakhouse in what used to be Isabella's Italian restaurant there in the hotel.
Yes.
So it's going to be open to the public, to obviously our players, and so it's just another dining establishment that we get to add to the property. And Ruth Chris is an amazing restaurant, as we all know. I'm sure Grand Rapids has a beautiful, beautiful restaurant here, so we're excited about that. We're gearing up for our outdoor concert series. So we are going to go on sale with Jelly Roll and Willie Nelson this Friday. They're going to play.
That's huge.
That's huge.
That's like spanning all generations.
It is. It really is.
And maybe the last time you see Willie, you never know.
Yeah,
here in Mount Pleasant. In Mount Pleasant.
Hey, Tim, I'm in marketing at Soaring Eagle. Last time you're going to see Willie, come see him.
Get the tickets,
Get
baby.
the tickets now.
Now.
And that wagon train may not be coming back.
You have to get on it.
Okay,
I'm telling
so
you, they sell
Willie,
out fast.
Jelly Roll.
We got Willie Jelly Roll. We got Godsmack, who's going to be with.
These are outdoors, right?
All outdoors. Yep.
We love the
Godsmack
outdoors,
will be
right?
with Bullet for My Valentine and Bad Wolves, so that'll be a triple header.
That's very exciting.
Yep.
The outdoor venue is fantastic.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 13,000 people. So May 26th, we'll have Godsmack show. May 27th, we'll flip it and do Jelly Roll and Willie Nelson. And
What about Brooks and Dunn?
oh, Brooks and Dunn, June 15th.
Don't forget about
my
Brooks
God.
and Dunn.
You can't forget.
Little
Kane
old school
Brown,
country.
Kane Brown.
August.
That guy?
Brown.
What?
New school, old
What about James Taylor?
Yeah, James Taylor.
Look at Tim McCullough.
The hits just keep coming, baby.
You guys are like.
And we have more to announce, so you got to stay tuned.
You're like the Donnie and Marie Osmond of Soaring Eagle.
She's wearing the purple sweater today, not the sock.
Yeah. Well,
you know what I mean? We're switching it up.
You have the shows. The
looks
redesign
great.
on the hotel rooms done about a year ago. Fantastic, right?
Man, I'll tell you what.
Just the rooms are just first class. Ascend Sportsbook. You have your sports wagering on site at Soaring Eagle.
Oh, yeah. That's where you can watch, wager, and win.
Made
It's
in
in marketing.
Made in.
Made in Michigan. Made for Michigan.
Made for Michigan with Herman Moore
Yes.
and the gentleman, Matt Shepard. We were trying to connect with him down at
Where you at, Matt?
training
Where
camp.
you at?
I think he's with
Where's he
the
at?
Lions. Well, they don't call it training camp. They call it spring training.
Spring training.
I said
That's
the
right,
Lions
yeah.
earlier. And you have the Eagle Casino and Sports app.
Which
that
is-
launched about a year ago.
Yep.
Has gone very well. Talk about that.
So Eagle Casino and Sports, you were there for the launch at Ascend. That is our online gaming and sportsbook platform, right? So we've just short of a year of launching that. So anywhere you go in Michigan, if you're 21 and older and you just miss your favorite Soaring Eagle game, you log on, you play your slot machine, you bet on those Tigers and those Lions and those Wings, and you just you follow your Michigan
March
team.
Madness.
March Madness is
Thank
huge,
you.
right? We've got stuff going on.
Ascend's good because we were there for the championship game with.
You remember, what a great
remember
day,
the
right?
Flintstones.
Oh, we
right?
had all
right.
the Flintstones
When we
there.
launched the Ascend Sportsbook and Lounge, and now the entire March Madness.
Can you believe it's been a year?
Yeah, I know. I was just talking with Marty Brewer about that. Now, you mentioned Herman Moore, who joined us earlier.
Yes.
I had a great 12-minute conversation with Herman, talked about the family at Soaring Eagle. I think Matt Shepard is standing by from spring training with the Tigers. Matt, how you doing, my friend?
Really happy anniversary. So honored to be with you, man, and congratulations on over 3 decades of doing what you do best and 4 years with Michigan Sports Network. It's awesome stuff. How are you, pal?
Yeah, I'm doing good, and I'm here with Tim McCullough, the funk governor from Soaring Eagle in Mount Pleasant, Tanya Barty, who's with the marketing team. And Tanya, let's talk about the connection now to Matt Shepard in the Eagle Casino and Sportsbook app we just talked about.
Very exciting.
Very excited. Hi, Matt. It's good to hear you.
Yes. Love that voice, Matt.
Tanya,
Love the
Tim,
voice.
The only place I'd rather be than Lakeland might be Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. That's the only other place. That
Oh, we don't count? We don't count, Matt?
That's my guy
the
right there.
anniversary
That's my
celebration
guy.
doesn't count?
Hey, that's a home run right there.
You don't count, no.
Thank you, my man.
So obviously we know Matt is the voice of the Tigers, right? Like he is that guy. And Matt has a partnership with us that we've worked with him over the years. And it was just great to bring in another partner to work alongside Herman to promote Eagle Casino and Sports and Ascend Sportsbook. And these guys are Michigan guys, right? This is a Michigan-based casino. The money that is made online stays in Michigan. We're not owned by any outside third-party platform. We built this on our own, and that's why we say made in Michigan, made for Michigan.
Tanya for governor, right?
I know. I'm loving it.
He's stepping up, for governor.
Yeah.
Man,
so Herman and Matt were perfect,
Perfect
and they know
fits.
our brand, right? We didn't want to bring just somebody in that didn't know our property, didn't know us as people, haven't worked with us before, and so.
Just like you, Bill.
And again,
That's why I love you guys.
we look at partnerships as families as well.
You guys are great. It's good to see you, man. It always is. And Matt will be telling everybody about the Eagle Casino and Sportsbook app. Matt Shepard, before I let you go, quick prediction on the Tigers this year win total. What's the over/under?
No pressure.
No pressure.
Let's put it this way. I would tell you this. I think they're going to be closer to 2021 than they were last year. So went to the ball game today, talking with some of the Tigers execs. As a matter of fact, as we speak, Alan Trammell and the like, and everybody's really excited this time of the year, fellas. But overall, I think they're going to be a little bit closer to 2021, which gave them 77 wins instead of 66. And just to parlay on what Tanya was talking about, I think that's the beauty of the partnership with Michigan Sports Network. What we love more than anything else is the state of Michigan, okay? And we believe in the companies that make this state great and the people who make it. So you three right there on the couch, could not ask for anybody better, but especially here with the Tigers and Michigan Sports Network. It's an honor to be part of it, guys.
Shep, man, I'm glad we caught up with you with spring training. We'll talk to you on air, and also we'll hear you talking about the Eagle Casino and Sportsbook app. Take care, my man, okay?
All right, Billy, go get him, baby.
All right, Tim McCullough.
Man.
Tanya Barty, thank you so much from Soaring Eagle. Thanks for coming down from
Happy
Mount Pleasant.
anniversary.
Yeah.
Thanks for
give
helping
Marty a
us
big
out,
hug,
man.
too, man. Give Marty a hug in Michigan Sports Network.
Love that, Marty.
We love Marty.
I'll tell Raul and CC you said hello.
Tell Raul CC I said hello.
Yeah.
Okay?
I mean, we talk every week.
I know,
we got to
man.
catch
We
up
do
with those
the
guys
fun
too,
governor
right?
every Tuesday. Tuesdays are for Soaring Eagle. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for having us.
One final segment, and also my thank you interview with my producer, Superfly Hayes. That's next.
Live from the Collaborative Lab, it's the 4th anniversary celebration of The Huge Show on the Michigan Sports Network.
We might have just come out with our most refreshing Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer yet. It's called the Essential Collection. It's made with coconut water and real fruit juice, so it's always going to have a real refreshing fruit taste. Can refreshing get any more refreshing? Yep, it can, and it just did. Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, made with coconut water and real fruit juice for a superior taste. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, IRC Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Have you been to a Grand Rapids Gold basketball game yet inside Van Andel Arena? They're the Denver Nuggets G League team, and they feature talent from Kentucky, Baylor, Stanford, Duke, and more. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com or the Van Andel Arena box office. And don't forget their home game specials. Tuesdays, 2-for-1 tickets. Thursdays, $2 beers and $2 dogs. And the Sunday Family 4-pack. Get 4 tickets and a $20 concession voucher for only $50. Get your Grand Rapids Gold tickets now.
There are a lot of reasons why some people would never want to be a cop. It's not 9 to 5, no 2 days are ever the same, it isn't safe, and it is never easy. There are also a lot of reasons why some people would never want to be anything other than a cop. It's not 9 to 5, no 2 days are ever the same, it isn't safe, and it is never easy. So, which one are you? Visit MichiganPoliceChiefs.org and find out.
Join Van Andel Institute's Purple community for the 11th annual Grand Rapids Griffins Purple Game on Friday, March 10th at 7 p.m. at Van Andel Arena in downtown GR. 100% of the proceeds will benefit groundbreaking cancer research at Van Andel Institute in Grand Rapids. Don't miss out on the limited edition Griffins Purple apparel and your chance to bid on purple jerseys after the game. Learn more at vai.org. That's vai.org.
Imagine this, winning big at Soaring Eagle. Get nothing but nets and win up to $15,000 cash. It's the $100,000 Hoop to Win every Saturday in March, 6 to 11 p.m. Shoot to win each week. Then on March 25th, players compete for up to $15,000. The $100,000 Hoop to Win giveaway. Only at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. your getaway reimagined. Visit SoaringEagleCasino.com for complete rules and details.
At Mercantile Bank, we understand that different businesses have different needs. That's why our team of business specialists take the time to understand your business, your goals, and your objectives. We provide tailored solutions and innovative products, all delivered locally. So when you're ready to work with a partner who understands your unique business needs, call us. We're here and ready to put the wheels in motion. To learn more, visit us online at mercbank.com/business and let's make dreams a reality. Member FDIC.
You're listening to The Huge Show on the Michigan Sports Network.
We are back on The Huge Show. You're watching on YouTube or listening on the Huge Radio Network. 19 stations that have partnered with the Michigan Sports Network. Tim McCullough is going to sit in and do our normal Tuesday segment where we talk about what's going on in Mount Pleasant, Michigan at the Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. So what I love, and you mentioned this last week on air, you're tying in those who can shoot a basketball with possibly winning big money.
Yeah, that's right. $100K up for grabs, win your share of, right? So the way it works, you come on out, and we got 3 spots. We got a 250, a 500, and a 1,000. We got our hoop up, right? So you got a hoop to win, right? Everybody likes that. And if you're not a hooper, that's okay. I got you, right? We'll find someone that can hoop for you. We can throw in an alternate if you
someone
have
will
to.
shoot for that person.
If you so desire. So what happens is you make the 250. It's a layup. That's where we have it. So I can get up, right?
Yeah, you
I'm
can.
the fun governor. I can do this,
right? Yeah.
So you're doing all this, right? And you go up, layup, 250. We back you up a little farther. It's like a free throw, 500.
Like they do at halftime of basketball.
Yeah,
game.
$500. You drain that, right? It's a swish if I'm doing it. I know that. Right. And then you back up a little bit further, not quite a 3, but we're out there a little ways. $1,000. You hit all 3, I'm going to throw in another $1,000, so that's $2,750 that you can walk away with. That easy, just coming out and hooping it up with us, having some fun. You know how we chop it up every week? You're hooping it up, right? So a chance to win some big money, and then we bring you back on the 25th.
In the middle of March. Madness, right?
When you're share of $15,000 in cash. So it's a pretty big deal. They come out, we have some fun with
anybody
it.
Can shoot.
Anybody can do it.
Anybody,
all you do
is it 18 and over, 21 and over?
18 and older. So you know, you have your Players Club card. That's absolutely free up at the Access Club. Come on out, hear your name called. Anybody can shoot.
Where are you doing the shooting at?
We're doing it right in front of the Ascend Sportsbook and Lounge.
Oh,
right?
man, look at that. With March Madness. And all the games, Big Ten tournament. When does it start?
This happens on Saturday nights, 6 p.m. to 11 p.m.
This Saturday?
Yeah, we had it last. People, you got to bring a basketball out. They're excited for March Madness, this I can tell you, right? Kiosks are busy all day. We had all the great food in there, all the great apps that have sent. But people just coming out going, hey, what's this all about? Everybody wants to grab a basketball and drain a hoop, right? I can do it. Call my name. I'll do it right now. Well, use your card, swipe to win. It's that easy. I call your name, you come out, you have 5 minutes to show up, and we talk about it and get the thing, and then, hey, it's game on, right? I'm not blowing whistles. There's no fouls. You just get to shoot the ball and have some fun and win some money. It's really that easy. It's really exciting.
So every Saturday during March, what are the times for
6 to 11.
Is it hoop to win?
Yes, hoop to win, 100K.
How long does it go on?
6 to 11
at night?
Listen, here's what we're doing. Every half an hour, I'm drawing a name. Not every hour, every half an hour. So it's 11 people throughout the night. They get a chance to win this money. It's a lot of fun.
They get called over to hoop to win.
They get called over.
They enter in front of the Ascend Sportsbook and
you can enter by using your card in a slot machine or at a table games, or just swipe at a kiosk. You're hanging out with friends. Yeah.
I like the sports interactive game.
Oh my gosh.
I think it's been popular.
Yeah, and then it's what we want to do. We want to get people involved. We want to have some fun. It's entertainment. I talk about it every week, right? And that's what we do. And I think it gets everybody creative. You got everybody cheering you on. It's just a lot of fun. You got to come out and see it, really.
Every Saturday night, 6 until 11 at the Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. Hoop to win. Yeah. So if you want to take a shot at winning money, do it on Saturday nights at Soaring Eagle, month of March. And you got to send Sportsbook with March Madness and all the tournament games. You got the Big Ten tournament this weekend.
All the screens,
this
the ticker.
Ticker. You got the kiosk, got the betting windows.
The nachos.
They're awesome. I was there eating with the Flintstones when we had the debut.
It's a year.
It's good to see you, my man. Tim McCullough, the fun governor for the Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Everything and more at SoaringEagleCasino.com. And also download the Eagle Casino and Sportsbook app. And don't forget about their sister property, the Saganing Eagles Landing Resort and Casino and Hotel in Stanish, Michigan.
And that water park, eh?
And the Casino Water Park, Soaring Eagle, right across from the resort property. Thank you, Tim.
Appreciate you.
McCullough, the fun governor, joining us here on the huge show across Michigan. Final segment on our 4th anniversary on the Michigan Sports Network celebration, and I thought the most fitting way to end this broadcast was to bring Superfly Hayes into the collaborative lab and talk about working with the Huge Show the last 4 years. So, Brett, 5.5 years producing the Huge Show across Michigan. 5.5 years. 5 days a week outside of vacation weeks, which are 27 of the 52 weeks each year.
For you, yeah.
Hey, you get your vacation.
I do, yeah.
But 5.5 years with the show. What's it like behind the scenes working with me?
It's hectic, that's for sure. But it's a lot of fun. Everything, it's something different every day, which is one of the reasons I like doing it so much. So never a dull moment, that's for sure.
So is it more exciting on air, or is it more exciting during the breaks and maybe the hour before the show?
It's probably more nerve-wracking, more anxiety-ridden during the breaks.
Anxiety-ridden. That's a special 4-year anniversary comment with the Michigan Sports Network. 5.5 years.
Well, you want to do things right, so, there's pressure on it. So
Pressure, anxiety-ridden. Okay. Pressure, anxiety-ridden. I'm waiting for police to come arrest me right now. 5.5 years. Brett Hayes, by the way, is his real name, Superfly on the Huge Show. Now, behind the scenes, when you look at what the Collaborative Lab has here in Comstock Park, pretty similar to what you work with and I work with at the Huge Show?
No.
It does.
This is intense stuff.
This is the exact couch I use. There's the Huge Show couch right there that I lay down, or actually we bring a therapist in to talk to you.
Yes, that's very true. No, it's a little more simple, but
is it?
Trying to make it sound good.
Is this place cool or what?
It's so cool, man. I've never been in anything like this.
I was talking with Marty Boer from the Michigan Sports Network that if we don't have all the equipment they have by Friday at 5 p.m., I'm done.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah.
I believe that.
Marty, I want this. Look at what the Collaborative Lab has. Andy and the crew here, they're pros.
Very nice too.
I mean, we do radio, so I feel like I'm doing not even a poor man's version, like scraping the gutter version of Jimmy Kimmel Live, but it's kind of cool having you on the couch.
Yeah, it is very cool. It's different.
5.5 years, man. I have to tell you something, Brett. Putting up with me 5 days a week, 20 days a month. Wow, that's a lot for 5.5 years. You have grown into one of the best radio producers I've ever seen. You make it happen behind the scenes. So on this 4th anniversary with Marty, with the Michigan Sports Network, I wanted to make sure people saw your face, heard your voice, because I really respect what you do every day for the show.
Thank you. I appreciate that a lot. I love what I do, too.
You do a good job. You're talented.
Yeah, thank you.
You sound good on air, too.
Thanks, man.
I think you got an on-air future. You and Zane, Eric Zane, possibly with the show together one day. Maybe you and Andy.
Oh.
Andy and Brett. I like that. And you do the show from the Collaborative Lab. Look at this place.
Got a ring to it, man.
I mean, this is a little snapshot of behind the scenes. I got my logo in because otherwise I said I wasn't coming on stage.
Of course, naturally.
Andy's like, prima donna doesn't describe you, Bill. You're like the Godzilla of media. I go, can I come back and do things with you? He goes, our people will be in touch with your people.
It might be a one and done situation.
One and done with your anxiety-ridden. Hey, I'm Brett Hayes for the Huge Show. You want to be anxiety-ridden? Come produce. Be an intern. Thank you, Brett.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Few seconds to say goodbye, man. I want to thank everybody at the Collaborative Lab, Marty Boer, Jeff Morton, Superfly, our longtime partners, our new partners, you, the loyal listeners, and all our affiliates. 4 years with the Michigan Sports Network, nearing 32 years doing a show, and over 21 years on the Huge Show. Thanks to everybody. We'll talk tomorrow at 3 on the radio.
Big, bad, huge.